we are jumping back to the Thousand Thrones. So let's start by spending your experience points. By the way, Brian is still logged in Roll20, but I just think he never like left after the last game. So yeah.
Oh, that's possible.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I didn't see him post anything. So
one quick thing: if you check the handout sections in Combat Aids, I've added three new files. There's the Combat Actions file below the star signs, and there you have all the whole list of full actions, half actions, variable actions.
Okay.
Then there's hit locations because the file that we were using was it had an error. Actually, it had a couple of errors. The right legs were supposed to be the left legs, and so
Okay.
I've just copy pasted this. It's actually from the Roll20 wiki. And finally, this is the most interesting thing. After the battle at the stables, I was thinking about this, about the mounted combat, and I found something like that, something like this, also on Roll20 wiki. It's fan made because I recognize the file colors. It's I think it was used. It was made by using the template from the old Black Industries website. I recall that they had a couple of fan-made scenarios with this exact layout. And check this out. It's like you randomize hits almost every time. If we'll be using this table. And I don't know if you guys want to use it because by row you can target steed or rider, and this table really makes it more randomized, depending on the hit, which I personally like because I
kind of like it.
because if you're fighting someone on a horseback who's constantly moving and kicking and swinging, it's at least for me it's rather hard to imagine that you can land your blow precisely where you want, either on the steed, which is biting and kicking and stuff like that, or on the rider. So I think this is a very interesting thing. If you guys want to use it, cool. If not, then we'll of course be using the standard rules. So tell me what you think about it.
Does it have like rules for spears or like stuff like that? Kind of like how spears had certain bonuses. I think that might be neat.
No, I mean this is only for hit locations. Spears in Warhammer Fantasy only have the fast quality trait. And if you are playing 4th edition, then they also have, all of the weapons there have the different distance characteristics. So for example, if you are fighting with a knife against someone with a spear, then the person with a spear will have like a couple more success levels at the start of during every round, because they have longer reach. But in Fantasy 2nd edition, it's only fast. So that's that.
Okay.
I
wasn't sure if, since they're introducing cavalry, that certain weapons would have bonuses against.
Well, it's not cavalry. Rules for fighting riders. Mounted riders were in the core book. It's just you don't always fight. You usually don't fight them. But that's this chart here is, I think it's making things much more interesting. So that's why I was asking you if you guys want to use it. I will of course ask Brian later, or if you want to revert to rather stay with the original rule set.
I kind of like the random possibility that you hit either the rider or the mount. That makes sense to me. Like you were saying, that it's kind of hard to be like, oh, I'm just gonna target this. It's like, well, what if you miss, or what if the horse moves and you actually hit the rider, or vice versa?
Yeah, that's my thought exactly. Thank you, Sean. Yeah. And what about you, Jason?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, so I'll ask Brian, but for now we shall be using this. Okay, now back to the experience points. Jason, what are you buying?
I'm at the point where I can change career. Like I've got everything bought for Jujitsu Champion, so I don't. Should I? I obviously don't have one of every weapon type or anything like that. So, yeah.
So you're just spending what 100 points to switch to a new career?
If I can, I don't have any of the trappings, obviously.
You can collect trappings at the end.
Okay. If that's the case, I will advance my career. Now I have a few hundred points, but I'll just do that for today.
Okay, sure. So you're on a new career. Excellent. Sean, what about you?
I think what I'll do is I will spend 100 to bump up my strength another 5%.
Okay, how much do you have now?
Oops, that's not strength. Now I have 54.
Nice. That's five strength bonus. That's very nice, actually. With the strength bonus alone, you can practically remove the entire armor, or you can just break through the enemy's toughness bonus, ordinary enemy's toughness bonus. I mean average. Sorry, not ordinary, but average. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's for that. Also, who's making notes? And I wanted to ask you, who was making notes for the last 2 sessions? Because
Brian.
Okay.
Because he hasn't put it up.
Yeah, they're not here yet. Okay, I'll talk to him later. Sure. Right. Awesome. So wait, who's making notes today?
I think you completed yours before Brian, right, Sean?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, then I can. I think does Brian have one more left? Either way, I can.
He have one more.
Yeah, he has one more. So just
I'll
in
take
for
it
him.
for today then.
He'll finish his next time, and then it will be your two, Jason.
Okay.
Sean, yeah.
Yeah. So and then Jason was reminding me. I think I didn't update it. We lost fate points so that we wouldn't die from the poison, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, we didn't. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
I thought we had to burn. I thought Jason was saying something about we had to burn fate points, and I didn't remember.
Really? I mean, in that case, I think Jason is dead. Then his character is dead right now because he has 0 fate points. So if you'd have to burn them.
Oh no, I burnt one last session.
But it was from combat. It was because
definitely. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes,
okay.
yes.
So then, all right. So then we did.
I mean, there's a huge chance that you would have to burn them, but I don't remember, and I won't.
No, it was.
And I'm not going to listen to the session, so consider yourselves lucky.
Now. Yeah. I marked that I spent one last session because I went unconscious.
Okay.
And I think, is that what you're asking, if Sean?
Well, yeah, I just didn't remember because you said something about fate points, and I still have my full fate points, and so I wasn't sure if we had to burn them or not, or what happened with that.
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, the deadly combat was enough last session, so even if some of you failed the toughness tests, it doesn't matter. So yeah, it's cool. All right, so we are going back. Last time, you ventured into a cave near the village of Hermsdorf in search of the vile charcoal burners who kidnapped young Carl, Sigmar Reborn, and well, the light of your lives. Although you're not really sure why are you, why did you ever or fought like that, because you don't feel even loyalty anymore to this kid. That's interesting. And by the way, you don't have to roll for anything, stuff like that. You know that this is strange. That this isn't a crisis of faith. It's more like you've been you were under a spell maybe, or under an influence of some kind of drug that wore off, stuff like that. So you can like think like that if you want, of course. Anyway, the battle was brutal, and while you did take care of the two of the three assassins, the last one, their leader probably, who also wielded magic, proved to be too much, and he unfortunately defeated all of you and then ran away, and he took everything with him. There's only a bloodstained boulder left in the cave, some old barely warm remains of a campfire, and in the campfire you found partially burned note, which is, by the way, in the handout section. It's called partially burned letter by someone named Lydia. Francisco can barely stand because, Francisco, ironically, you still have a dagger embedded in your thigh.
Yeah.
Conrad, your name is Conrad, right? Yes, Conrad. You have a nasty head wound. The assassin's blade carved a furrow in your skull, and Cadveo is just cut to shit.
Yeah.
It's light outside because it's still light outside because you went there when, I believe, in the early morning. But you all feel like pretty bad. Oh, by the way, the poison didn't kill you, but you can feel it coursing in your veins, and it's very painful and very uncomfortable. Cadveo is like, oh.
I'm going to attempt to remove the dagger from my side.
You did that, and the yell of pain was legendary. It reverberated, throughout the cavern system, which the caverns are apparently pretty deep here. Francisco just lays on his back and pants heavily. The blood is oozing from the wound in his side. The dagger, by the way, is a nasty thing. It has this wavy curved blade, and there's a sinister-looking skull at the end of the pommel. It doesn't look like any honest imperial skull. It's looking it's looking evil. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Conrad says, "Okay, Francisco, bite down on, this other dagger handle."
Why?
I'm gonna try to pull it out.
I already pulled it out.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's why I screamed really loud.
Yeah, that's
I thought you failed. I thought you pulled it out.
Oh, do you have another dagger in me?
Yeah. Hey, would you like one? No.
I got one. Does
Sorry.
now you said everything was pretty much cleaned up besides for this burnt note. Do we have our trappings?
Yeah. You have.
They had robbed us.
Yeah.
We still don't have any money, I don't think.
Yeah. Sean, you are breaking up sometimes, especially when you start talking. It's like this small delay, and then you talk normally. I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe it's the case of a connection. I don't know. Just so you know. Anyway, yeah, you have all of your trappings, but unfortunately, the bastard took everything with him. I mean, everything that belonged to him and his apprentices. But their bodies are left here, by the way.
Minus one dagger, though.
Yeah, minus one dagger. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, no. Sorry, he took the bodies with him. So there are no bodies. There aren't even any bodies here. Only the dagger that belonged to one of them, which was embedded in Francisco's side.
Yeah.
Okay, so just in reading this scrap of paper, there's apparently something called the Great, which is, I guess, their cult. and I'm going to assume that Ahmed is the dickhead who killed us or hurt us.
Okay.
And so then we've got this Mama
Raluca.
Yeah.
Raluca. I'm going to
Helfurl?
Helfurt.
Helfurt. Okay.
I'm going to check this note. Shit. So.
And then apparently a Sigmarite cult called the Skulls.
Yes.
So, would we be able to do like a Empire knowledge to know about the skull?
For the skulls, you can roll, both of you, plus 10 for Helford, basic Empire knowledge. Yeah, that's it. So, what do you want to roll for first?
I'm gonna roll for the skulls first. So
okay.
That would be the plus 10, I guess.
Yeah.
Just get to the. Darn it. Okay, I think that's Common Knowledge Empire. We'll see.
The Skulls are no sect of the Empire. They're not any religion or any branch of existing religion. The Skulls, you remember that, Conrad? The Skulls were a gang in the Crusade. Sigmarite Flagellants of the Skull were very medium-sized fanatical warband led by, you seem to recall, someone named Ludwig Buchholz. And yeah, they were in the Crusade of the Child. You only remember that because you've heard about them. You've heard that their leader apparently had some kind of artifact, some kind of triptych, or at least a wing of a triptych, according to the rumors. And that they were, as it turns out, they were heretics, considered by some. You don't know the details, you don't remember the details, but some of the people in the Crusade spoke that they venerated Sigmar in a completely different way than he should be venerated. But you don't know the details.
Okay.
Yeah. Jason, well, you unfortunately failed. All right.
If it's plus 10, but...
Oh, yeah, it's plus 10, sorry. So, yeah. So, you've heard the same... You remember the same thing that I've told Conrad right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll try to roll just a straight-up one for Helfurt.
Yes. Ooh!
I'm fire with my knowledge rolls today.
Yeah. Francisco, are you going to roll?
Sure.
If you have, of course, the Common Knowledge Empire.
Empire? Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just missed it.
Right. Conrad, you know where Helfurt lies. Helfurt is a town near the castle, near Castle Helfurt in Sylvania, the dreaded province to the east. You recall that it lies about 6-7 days from the town of Xathrodox in Stirland. And of course, as all Sylvania, it is a fell and dangerous place. Yeah.
Well, we already know. I guess. Would you let me know that?
Yeah, I would tell you that.
Yeah.
And I've heard of
Helfurt. Yeah.
Helfart.
Helfurt.
Yes, it's outside of Sigridhof. Got it.
So
it's not outside of Sigridhof. It's 6-7 days from Sigridhof, which is in Stirland.
Oh, okay.
And Helfurt lies right next to. I mean, above Helfurt lies the castle Helfurt. And this is a place in Sylvania, which is a province that nobody really wants in the Empire, but they also can't really get rid of it, unfortunately.
Well, that could explain the involvement of that bloody vampire. Not surprised there's some connection to that area.
Wait.
But my question is, how the hell are we going to get to Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and also remember what I said about the skulls and the triptych.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Wordbat.
Right. Well, that's what I was just thinking. Yeah. We're So it looks like we've got some clues, but I feel like right now we're in a situation where we need to get to Wordbat to heal ourselves or do something. We're too beat up to go on a week-long travel through the wilderness. We need to get to civilization and get some food and get some supplies and.
Well, yeah. So we're just across the river from Wordbat, aren't we? Like we never got to Wordbat, did we?
No. We got to a village.
Yeah.
Hermsdorf.
We got to.
Yeah, sorry.
We're not too far from Hermsdorf now, are we?
You are very close to Hermsdorf because the caves were very close to Hermsdorf, and Hermsdorf, as a village, is built near the crest of a low hill overlooking the Wordbat Valley, that extends 50 miles to the south. So from Hermsdorf, it's very close to actually get to Wordbat.
Right. Okay. So okay. Now I'm remembering. So yeah, we were in Hermsdorf. We left on the road towards Wordbat to try to ambush them, and they never showed up. So then we went and we magically found their cave.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Brian
so yeah.
Real good.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So it sounds like what we need to do is get to Wordbat and I guess follow the last bit of. Because we know that there was something to do with the Tree of Hope, and that's why we were going to Wordbat in the first place, is the Temple of Myrmidia, right?
Yes.
Mm.
So we should probably follow that up, if nothing else, and figure out if we can find these skulls, guys, if they're here or not,
or if they're connected in any way to this thing.
Yeah.
Says Cadvale, by the way.
Yes.
Very well. Follow me, I guess, he says. Remember that last time when Cadvale tried to do something in the forest, a mutated boar attacked you.
Yeah, but he did find this cave very well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it's hit or miss. I'm going to, I guess, I don't know if there's any scrap of cloth or something, but I'm gonna keep a hand on this dagger. Could use it for maybe identification or something later, or as a weapon, as you know.
Okay, sure. So you just, you probably have to tear your clothes to strips if you want to.
Did you say the corpses are gone?
Yeah, the corpses are gone.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
I'll try wiping it the best I can on any brush or the ash of the fire, just to kind of clean off the blood and whatever was on it, and then I'm just trying to figure out if anybody. Yeah, I'll take a sleeve or something.
Okay.
And then,
you tear off your sleeve and you just
wrap the blade so it won't cut me. Yeah.
And you move out from the cave. Outside, you don't even see tracks of the charcoal burner's wagon, because you recall that they had a wagon and you didn't saw it when you approached the cave. Perhaps it was parked somewhere else, but it's gone. The forest here is dark and gloomy, and it's fairly cold. The early spring is not doing you any favors, so you return to the village of Hermsdorf. Do you want to do anything else in the village, or are you just moving forward?
Do you want to ask if anybody saw anybody run through?
Yeah, we should try to.
Remember how you guys like. You look like you've went through hell. For example, Conrad has a mask of blood on his face.
Yeah. Well, that's something we can say. Is, we got ambushed by a few foreigners that looked like they were foreigners that looked like they were posing as charcoal burners, and we got pretty mangled. Did you see anybody run by?
Well, if you want to ask questions like that, then roll fellowship -10.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, I will too.
Ooh!
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Where's my fellowship? Nope.
Conrad, people are avoiding you. Clearly afraid. Francisco, since you only hobble and your face looks more or less intact, people told you that no, they didn't saw anyone.
Well, then I warned them. Well, be on the lookout. There are bandits in the area.
We will, Meinel. Thank you. Say the simple people living in Hermsdorf. All right, nice.
All right, so he didn't go through here, but that doesn't mean he could have just not skirted around. But
yeah, we were already outside the town, I think. So.
Yeah, but wasn't it the opposite direction in which we thought he was going?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just kind of figured if we still thought he was going in that same direction, that maybe he would have passed the village. But all right.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. On to Wordbad it is. You set out with your meager belongings and your aching wounds. You move along the road, the Old Forest Road. Actually, I think the Old Forest Road ends here. Actually, well, anyway, you move further south into the Wordbad Valley. After you've crossed the River Ster, fortunately, of course, there was a bridge, so you didn't have any problems with that. And it is a completely different place to almost any that you've visited before, mainly because here you truly don't see any signs of war. It's like this place has been had a fortune to avoid bloodshed from the Storm of Chaos. And despite the fact that Stirland is considered one of the poorest and most rural provinces of the Empire, if not the poorest and most rural, the valley around the city of Wordbad is beautiful. It is dotted with private chalets and vineyards, and the provincial capital of Stirland can be visible miles away, its whitewashed buildings gleaming in the sunlight. Everyone roll Common Knowledge Empire. You don't have to worry about botches, by the way.
Bird poops on you.
What?
If you roll a botch, I was just going to check.
87.
Yeah, our minds are in another place. Seeing that we've actually come to civilization for the longest time, or since the longest time, Francisco is going to say a prayer to Mermedia. Surely crossing this body of water is leading us to a better place. It shielded this city from the horrors of war to the north.
Okay, sure. You speak a quiet prayer to the goddess Mermedia. You can see that even Cadvale is appreciating the view. Since it is green here, it is peaceful, tranquil almost. Anyway, you don't really know anything about Wordbad. You don't know how many people live there, how many, what it is famous for. You seem to recall that Stirland is particularly known for its wines, which apparently are very, very popular even in the furthest reaches of the empire, but you don't really know anything else. As you move closer and closer to the provincial capital of Stirland, you of course pass, wagons, coaches, people like coming from the opposite direction, patrols. So you can see that the capital of Stirland is probably a place that is popular among visitors. And I would like for you to... Actually, no, not for you. I need to roll for that, unfortunately. Okay, let's see. Nice. Okay. As you get closer and closer to Vurdbat, you suddenly see, coming from the direction that you're traveling in, you see a patrol of 4 horsemen on light cavalry destriers. They are young men. Well, actually, 3 of them are young men, and their leader, the one who's riding at the front, is a grizzled or old veteran in half plate. The young men are festooned with pistols. They have pistols everywhere, on their strapped to their chest, to their legs, to the saddles. The veteran has a strange multi-barreled contraption at the ready. He holds it in in both of his. Actually, sorry, no, he's not holding it. He has this weapon on his back. He also has a single monocle. When they approach you, see that the leading man, did a gesture with his hands and pointed towards you. You all saw that, by the way.
Okay.
You can feel that Cadvio is getting tense. The men approach you. They're not galloping, but they've picked up the pace, and essentially they've half surrounded you. Like there are 2 on your right, 1 on your left, and the leader is standing in front of you. They are all, of course, on their horses. From up front, you can see that these men are nobility, almost certainly. They have this look about them. They also look relatively healthy, and they look nice, if you know what I mean. They don't have any warts. They don't have any, deformities on their faces, stuff like that. They're not dirty. But there's also, especially from the younger men, there's also this air of being supreme to almost anyone else. "Hail, travelers!" says the older man. "Sigmar be praised."
Hail, mine Herr, hail be praised to Sigmar.
I'm Lieutenant Waldo Reinstoffen of the Emperor's Pistol Corps, and these are my charges here. We are patrolling this area. Lately, there have been a couple of bandit attacks on nearby settlements, and we've also heard tales of goblin raids nearby. So we're on the lookout. You see that he's looking at you very closely, and the young men, who are not saying anything, some of them are not even hiding the fact that they are, keeping the hands of the handles of their pistols. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Unfortunately, we have, or we've came across some bandits who certainly put us in worse shape than we would have dare wish.
Where was that, eh?
To the north, just north of the river. We just about made it out with our lives.
So in Talabekland then, eh?
Yes.
Not that. Well, oh yeah, I guess that is the border of Talabekland, right?
It's beyond our jurisdiction.
Yes. Well, it's
Jason,
good to see.
Sorry, there's some kind of like interference on your part. Like you're crackling a bit. I don't know why.
Okay, let me know if it gets better.
Okay.
But I say, well, it's good to be in a land where the fields and streets are patrolled. Then it's a sigh of relief. Praise Sigmar.
So where are you going?
Well, we were hoping to find some temporary shelter in an inn, and get some rest and clean up in Wartbad. Get our
one of the nobles like, they'll never let you into the city, man. Look at you. You look like beggars, like vagabonds. Enough, private, says the older man. You see that the young man scuffled at this remark, but he's quiet.
Well, perhaps an inn outside of the city will take us on, and
well, if you want a piece of advice, I suggest that you boys clean yourselves up before trying to enter the capital, or else you might have trouble, eh?
We will certainly do so.
You are them adventurous types, right? The adventurers, so to speak.
Well, we have certainly been on some adventures.
I see.
Not all of our own choosing.
Well, like I said, you can go. Just make yourselves presentable before entering through the gates of Wordbat. This is a nice city, a jewel of the south, and certainly in your current state, you wouldn't probably be even admitted inside.
We will certainly do so, and thank you again for your presence. Gives us comfort after being in such twisted lands.
Here you go, and he unclasped a small wineskin that that hangs from his side and threw it to you, Francisco.
I catch it and bow and thank you, my hair, and then I do a shorter nod to the rest of the troops, giving each one a head shake.
You see that only one of them really returned it. The most humble looking one of these nobles. The other two were like they were glad that you bowed to them, but just that. Dicks, unfortunately.
Well.
After that, the lieutenant ordered his entire unit to just gallop towards the border with Talabekland.
When they're out of earshot, I want to see those arrogant little brats.
Yeah.
If I wasn't in such a shape, I'd show them something about presenting oneself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I, still staring off in the distance, I uncork the wineskin and take a sip and just hold it.
It's wine. It's actually pretty good. Actually, very good even for a wine carried by a line officer. This is in Estalia. This kind of wine would probably be served in a rather good diner. I mean, tavern, inn. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we still close? Are we close enough to some water we can like wash our faces off or whatever?
Actually, that's the problem. You don't see anything like that. There are individual like households, farms, cottages on the fields of Wurdbad Valley, but you don't see any ponds, any rivers, lakes, anything like that.
This might be a common knowledge test or just something we would know, but would there be inns or bathhouses on the way to Wordbad?
No way. If anything, they would be inside.
Well, there's the river. Like, how far have
we
traveled
passed it, I guess.
since then?
Yeah, you've passed it. I mean, it's not far. You can always get back if you wish.
I think we just look for like a convenient horse trough or something to just wet a rag and
All right.
wash your face off. That's what I think we should do.
Okay. So, if you want to do that, then both of you... Actually, I also roll for Cadveo perception tests.
Or a creek. I prefer not cleaning myself in the horse trough.
Yeah.
Cadveo
failed, by the way.
With, us as stallions know something about keeping ourselves clean after being neighbors with the likes of Britonia. Alright, so...
67. It was close, but unfortunately not close enough. But 49 is pretty good. Conrad, you found... you found... no joke. Small pond on the side of the road.
Sweet.
With frogs, croaking quietly. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. There's also Mr. Stork, and of course, everyone's favorite, Mr. Beastman, drinking from the font. No, just kidding. There are no storks here. There is, however, water, which I presume you use to just clean yourselves as best as you can.
It's a Beastman centaur, which is just a goat.
Yeah.
Reverse centaur.
The Centigore, in case of Beastmen, the half Beastmen, half horses. They're always drunk, funnily enough. So anyway, you've used the water to like put yourself in in proper shape. Clean yourself.
Could I have see if Cadvale's Brian's character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Could we have requested him to, if that's a stork, that's, I imagine we're a bit famished. Maybe he can arrow it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there wasn't a stork; it was a joke. If you ask if he can hunt, then yeah, sure. But this isn't really a place to hunt. You are in a valley near a very civilized city. And roll Common Knowledge Empire, actually. Both of you. Also, don't worry about botches in this case.
Yeah.
Actually, you've passed Francisco, because it's a...
99!
Yeah, well... you've splashed some water into your nose, and so you began to cough lightly, Conrad. Francisco, you think that if the rules in the Empire are same as in Estalia, hunting without permission near a capital is probably forbidden.
Alright.
Because usually you have to get your local lord's permission to hunt on his territory. And the consequences can be very dire, actually, including death penalty. So
Conrad's like, it's all free. You just take whatever you want.
Yeah. Ostlander
logic would do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Cadveo also tells you that there's no game here. We are in a valley, and we are in a civilized place. Probably there are only very few wild animals here. So, unfortunately, my friends will almost certainly have to rely on your, and he says the word with slight distaste, money, to get fare and drink.
Mm-hmm. Too bad we don't have it.
Yeah, I want to make my, I'm going to clean my clothes and myself as best I can, and like if I tore off one sleeve, I'll kind of tear off the other, just kind of make it look a little more uniform.
You look like an 80s action hero.
Heck yeah.
Sleeveless.
Stretch out my collar a bit. Expose my chest hair.
Yeah.
Take the other sleeve and wrap it around my knuckles.
I wonder how much money we can get for that weird dagger that was stuck in your leg.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. You guys have this extra weapon, and daggers are usually cost gold, at least. That said, this dagger, like I said before, it's kind of unsettling.
Yeah, we might have to go We might have to find a particular type of
Seller.
shopper, yeah,
Yeah.
buyer for such a dagger like this.
Yeah, buyers.
Can I inspect it? Like they're poison daggers. Is there anything intricate about
No.
poison daggers, or is it just a dagger
No.
that's been poisoned?
It was
Okay.
it was just a blade coated in poison, which by the
Alright.
way is no longer here since you've cleaned it and wrapped it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said, the blade is wavy. It's this it has an air of sacrifice about it. Like it's mainly used to kill defenseless victims. Unfortunately. At least that's what you have in mind when you look at it. Both of you, by the way. Yeah. So anyway, you move forward towards Wordbat. The whitewashed walls are getting closer with each step, and eventually you approach the gate to the city. Unlike Altdorf, None, or even Talaheim, there are almost there's no line here, of people to enter the city. People enter and leave, but it seems that Wordbat is one of the smaller provincial capitals, at least to your eyes, and it doesn't have that many visitors, at least not in this time of year. Perhaps during the summer or early autumn, who knows. A couple of soldiers in green and yellow livery of Stirland, armed with spears and shields, with the symbol of the province, stand watch. You can see that their uniforms are presentable, but they are patched in some places, and you can see that the spears were probably used many times. They show signs of wear and tear. Few of the soldiers themselves are rather unshaven, and I don't mean that they have facial hair. They're just they have those stubbles when you don't shave yourself for a few days. When you approach the gate, two of them, one is a normal trooper and the other is probably a sergeant, because he has a wide brim hat with a couple of feathers, an impressive set of mustaches, and he has a small pistol at his side. Approach you. "Hey, travelers," says the sergeant. "Welcome to Wordbat. You wish to enter the city?" And you can see that when he speaks, he mainly looks at Catvale.
Yes, we are looking to enter the city.
I see. Well, you came to the right place. If you're just, sightseeing, Wordbat is a beautiful city. We have gentlemen's clubs, bathhouses, gourmet restaurants, at every turn. This is a very popular place for vacation among the nobility of the empire, says the sergeant, laughing nervously and still looking at Catvale. You can see that the other trooper is also looking at Catvale, and the rest of the soldiers are also looking at Catvale. Some of them are spitting on the ground and making signs of the comet. Now, if you wish to enter, of course, you have to pay, naturally, a small tax. Since the times are tough with with what is going on in the north, it will be 5 pennies per two of you. He points at you, Francisco, and you, Conrad, and a shilling for the for your friend over here, and he points at Catvale. So,
Well,
yeah.
I look at Francisco. Where did I put my purse? I start patting myself.
Okay. Francisco?
I don't know.
But seriously, I don't think we don't have any cash at all, do we?
I don't.
I'm checking
I don't
Brian's
think-
character.
Yeah, I think you had it all at one point, and then it disappeared.
Well, originally what happened was is we were trying to keep it distributed, and I was just spending whatever I had. And I think you guys did start just like handing the money over to me because I was taking care of all the expenses.
Well, it's
Yeah.
I don't know how up to date this is, but it does say that I have quite a bit of coin. But I thought we lost it all at some
You've lost it. You've lost it because you've paid the coachman.
Yeah, well, that was the main thing is that they made us turn over.
Oh,
And the coachman betrayed you.
okay.
Oh,
That-
but
and I wasn't there that session, so that's why it's
Yeah.
still on my paper.
oh, by the way, Brian is of course I mean, he's not riding on his horse. Yeah, he's riding on his horse. So
Alright.
yeah, so that's that. Well,
So-
says the sergeant.
Well, so that's interesting that you should say that because
Mm.
right now we're a little light on funds. Would you know where we would be able to earn some money so that we could enter your fine city?
Sure, I know.
Fine.
I know, says one of the soldiers. You can send this freak to the circus. And he points at Cat Vale. And of course, the other soldiers are begin to laugh. You see that the sergeant, looked at them with this faux stern look, but you can see that he is smiling. No, that's uncalled for. I'm sorry for my men there. You don't have any coin?
Not
No,
presently. We were robbed on the road.
Oh, you were robbed on the road, and you have a horse and all of your gear, says the sergeant.
That is correct.
Uh-huh. You expect me to believe that?
Yes, I expect you to believe that.
Well, when you've said that, you see that a couple of soldiers tensed. So sergeant got red-faced. Well, sir,
I put my hand up and say,
I see
well,
that we have a comedian here. Very nice. I admire a good sense of humor. Very well. Tell you what. If you have anything to trade, you can leave it with us, and we'll let you in.
we do have something worth bartering, but its value is significantly more than what is required to enter the town.
And how would you know what is required to enter the town, sir?
You just told us.
Yeah. All right. He didn't said that. Sorry. Actually, no. Sorry.
I'm just gonna guess it's about a shilling and
Yeah.
5.
No, sorry. Actually, he did say that. I did really. Yes. I seem to recall I was saying that. However, that was before I found that that your friend here is a jester, and we have an extra tax for jesters. Additional penny per leg.
Conrad looks at Francisco and clenches his fist.
Sergeant looks at you and just, with this shit-eating smile, fingers the pommel of his sword. So, what do you have to trade, sir? You're not from the Empire, I think. I can hear your strange foreign accent, he says.
No, I am from Estalia.
Estalia, where's that?
Far to the west, beyond the lands of Bretonia.
Where's Bretonia? Actually, what is Bretonia?
It is east of your neighbor, the Reichland. Or, sorry, west of your neighbor, the Reichland.
I see, says the man. It's clear that
Over the great gray mountains and through the forests of
All right.
the elves.
Nice. That's. I don't care. Very well. What do you have to trade, man? And be quick about it. You're testing my patience. You and this comedian here.
You know what, good sir? We will find another city to go to.
In that case, blessings of Sigmar be to you. And have a good day.
Yeah, we're gonna. There's got to be more than one gate to the city for one thing, and second, Conrad is going to kill all of these dudes, so we're going somewhere else.
All right. Well, perhaps. Well, yeah, it was to be expected that we would be charged.
Yeah, so let's see if we can find some place to earn some money outside the city walls,
or just somewhere who would, find somebody to barter with, and we could probably get plenty of coin for this dagger, more coin than just the ability to enter in. We could probably get a few nights stay at an inn, plus passage into the city, maybe a little something extra. So
yeah, out of character, that was, or even in character, that was really hard. Conrad wanted to kill all those fools, but that doesn't really work very well.
Conrad, I would like to remind you, says Cadveo, that the last time that you struck someone, it got us into a bit of trouble.
I remember it well. That's why I didn't do it, even though I wanted to.
we don't have any cash, mainly because you did that last time.
Yes.
Perhaps it is up to you to go find us some coin.
I will do that. If you guys want to wait outside the town, I'll go take a look around and see if I can find an honest wage for an honest day's work.
Very well. Let's. But we can also check the other gates. Maybe we'll have better luck there, eh?
Yes, but is it worth checking before we even have a pence between us?
Well, I mean, we can always trade this blade that you have.
This blade is worth significantly more than just an entrance. I feel like if we can sell it, even if it's to a farmer outside the wall, that we'd have enough coin for not only entering, but a stay at an inn and a hot bath and.
Well, we can try that. So, how do you guys want to do this?
Are there any business like inns, or there are farmsteads, I imagine, or stable houses that are not far from the entrance?
Yeah, there are a few roadside inns near Wood, but yeah, sure.
The other suggestion might be that when we go to one of the gates to see if there's anybody who has money who's going in and out who might want to buy this strange and exotic dagger from foreign lands.
Yeah. Are there any, I guess all the major businesses would be inside the
city walls, yeah.
So it's pretty much all agricultural related stuff.
Yes, because Tyrant is a very agricultural province.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of a place where there might be more customers for something like a dagger, like a hunter's hall, or
you didn't saw anything like that around here, but you did saw a couple of roadside inns.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be our best bet.
Yeah,
because I imagine a barkeep can probably turn a dagger around pretty quick if we give him a decent deal on it.
So
he'd probably buy it and sell it immediately for a couple shillings more. What say you?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Go to an inn and see if we can sell the dagger to get some cash and then get into the town without having to murder the guards.
Yes, or anybody else. And I look at you, Conrad.
You humans and your obsession with killing, says Cadveo with a distaste.
We humans, and I look at him. It is only this character.
Well, I seem to recall your joyful exploits with the shield at the Crusades encampment.
Well, Elf, if your arrows found your mark, I would have not been so obliged.
Good point. Good point. Fuck you. No, of course, he didn't say that. Yeah, so you approach one of the roadside inns. The Foaming Bath, it's called.
Sounds amazing right now.
Yeah, but unfortunately the place looks like a dump.
Yeah.
It is this, half-rotten hovel with a thatched roof and a couple of lean old horses tied outside, drinking from the what's the word for this? Because I know how it's called in Polish.
Trough?
Trough. Okay, yeah, drinking from the trough. When you pass them, you see that the trough is dirty, like the water in the trough is just brownish. You enter inside, and it just stinks. It's pretty bad. The ceiling is actually pretty low. There are cobwebs everywhere. There are strange things laying on the ground, probably just refuse, remnants of previous meals, fecal matter, stuff like that. And people here are mostly farmers, travelers, vagabonds. There are a couple of guardsmen, of Stirland guardsmen, the same uniforms that you saw. At the gates, and it takes you only a few seconds to realize what is the most predominant smell here. It's the smell of warm beer. And to both of you, this is more than surprising, because let me just tell you that warm beer in the Empire is not very popular, except for this province. And that's why one of the reasons why people from other provinces think that Stirlanders are crazy, because they like to drink warm beer, even in summer, actually. Of course, people here look at you when you enter the place, and you can see that these are not, friendly stares, especially those directed at Catvale.
Perhaps Cadvale should wait outside.
Yes, I think I will. I will guard my horse, says Catvale, and he, leaves.
Sounds good.
Yeah. You can see that no one will approach you. You have to order yourself.
Yeah, I imagine we've kind of weighed all the people. That's kind of what you described.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, when Catvale left, they've still stared at you for a couple of seconds, but then most of them just shrugged and returned to their quiet conversations and, just drinking and eating, something that doesn't look good and doesn't smell nice.
Mm-hmm. I suggest maybe since you're more tactful than I, you should go up to the innkeep and see if you can sell this dagger that you got.
All right.
So you approach the innkeep?
Yep, I'll approach the innkeep.
Right. Well, the innkeep is this tall, lanky fellow with long, drooping mustache that's been stained with gravy and sauce at the ends, so it's almost stiff at the ends. He has sunken eyes. He's not looking very healthy. "Welcome to the frothing bath, stranger," says. "What can I help you with, eh?"
Well, I think we can help each other here.
Really? I don't really need any help. Especially not from people like you, foreigner.
Well, come foreigners, come interesting, expensive items that you can flip a coin with.
Really?
I have... Unfortunately, me and my comrade here fell on some hard times and got robbed. But fortunately, and I kind of cut him off.
Yeah.
We made off with a very unique item, which is which retains quite a bit of value. Which I think a place like this, with a lot of customers, you would be able to turn around and make quite the profit with.
You see that he looks at you with this look that he's not really interested, but intrigued whether you actually be worth his time. You know.
I'll take the dagger out and then like uncover it.
He looks at
leave
this
it on.
and his eyes are like, getting wider. And
Have you ever seen such a blade?
no, and I'm kind of regretting saying it right now. This thing it looks nasty, man. What is this?
As a blade from far away land.
Yeah, I can see that it's from far
Very
away.
rare.
It is evil. Everything
Yeah,
that's from far away is evil.
Yeah.
It's not the weapon, but the hand that wields it.
Says Conrad to empty space.
Stares into the 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah. the knowledge of Odin color. Believe in yourself. It's like this, yeah.
Let me drop some knowledge on you, brother.
Anyway, Francisco, roll charm.
Flashbacks of Nam go through Conrad's mind.
Welcome to Estalia, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Charm.
Good thing I'm not doing it because I don't have charm.
Yeah, I don't either.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah, I was actually wondering if you're going to roll that.
Nice.
Um,
You'd be kicked out of an entire province.
yeah, so you see that the innkeeper looks at you, at the dagger. Yes, I actually have. I will buy it for you. Just let me get out my money, and he kneels, and he gets up with a blunderbuss.
I very quickly.
He says "Hände hoch," which in German means "hands up." "Hände hoch, vile cultist!" He screams at the top of his lungs.
I put my hands up.
Of course, naturally, the entire inn immediately stop what the people in the inn stop what they were doing. The soldiers, the few guardsmen, clutched their weapons, their spears, which were leaning against the wall, and they're like, "Whoa, what's happening?" The other people were like, "Whoa, cultists, where? Beastmen, where? Elves, outside, where?" Stuff like that. Cultist scum! I knew that you're evil the moment I saw you," says the innkeeper. "You are a foreigner. All foreigners are evil. You there?" And he points at you, Conrad. "You don't move as well."
I say, "Whoa, here, you've got it all wrong. We are simple travelers. We have been."
"What is going on here, Jurgen?" says one of the soldiers. Look, Uli. Look what this foreigner, what he brought. This is a weapon of evil. By Sigmar, it is." And he he looks at you, Francisco. "In the name of Albrecht Haupt Andersen, Elector Count of Stirland, I take you into custody. You and your friend over there. You there, drop your weapons." And he points at you, Conrad.
I say, "Not only will I not drop my weapons, but you will stand down, or you will fight me, and you will perish."
There's this silence.
And I will roll an intimidation if I have to.
Roll. Let's see.
Because I have a higher strength and
Ooh.
a plus 10%. So
you see that the soldiers were looked at you, and they were like, "Nope," and they ran away. And after them, most of the patrons run away as well.
I slowly lower my hands after seeing such a ferocious Conrad clear a bar faster than an elf's fart.
The innkeeper moonwalks out of the bar. Behind
he just does that. He does that little elevator thing where he just goes straight down behind the counter.
Tin, 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 tin.
I say, collect your item and let us depart, my friend.
Right. I grab the dagger, and then
yeah, and then you leave as well. There's no one left in the inn. Everybody
actually,
left.
I want to sweep the table, see if that might be a bad idea.
I think we don't need to.
Yeah,
we don't need to add thief to cultist.
Yeah.
Let's just leave and find some other back entrance to Workbad.
Yeah. I think we better tell. I think I need to hide my identity again.
To shave your head again.
Otherwise, oh man.
No,
what's that guy's name?
Kaiser Soze?
No, the
Jubal Falk.
Jubal Falk. Alright, so yeah,
my new student, Vincent Dariosh.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought. I don't know why I thought about this name. It seems fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, you leave. And you prepare to move towards one of the gates when you suddenly hear, "Psst! Hey!"
Yes.
You see a man leaning around the wall of an inn. He looks unsavory. He has long, lanky hair, long, big nose, and this kind of eyes, which only the nasties of salesmen have. "Hey there, strangers," he says. "I've I had by, of course, pure chance, I've heard that you want to get inside Wordbat.
That is correct.
I was standing nearby the gate when you were talking with the soldiers, and then I followed you here. Let me introduce myself. Allow me to introduce myself." Excuse me. "Konstantin von Klopf. At your service." And he literally scurries towards you. Like a rat on two legs. Well, anyway. He extends his hand. It's greasy.
I guess he's approaching you since.
Oh, okay.
He's approaching all of you.
All right. Yeah.
So, yeah. What's your name, strangers? If we're going to do business, I need to know your names.
I look at Francisco.
Vincent.
No. John Connor.
Yeah. What was the one I said yesterday? Harry Paratestes.
Okay, Harry Paratestes, right? He looks at you as, all right. And you are? And he looks at you, Francisco.
My name is Francisco.
Very well. You are an stallion, right?
Does the accent give it away?
That and your name is Francisco. And your friend here? I'm Cadveil. Let's see. Very well. I'm a person who helps people get inside the city. When they don't want to use the more obvious and legal ways. You know what I mean. So I can get you into the city for a small price, of course.
All right, we're listening.
Well, I normally take cash. But since times are tough, I'm open to trade. Barter, so to speak. Useful item for an entrance to the city, for an entrance to the capital of Wurdbad. I know a few ways to get in and out. And since you boys seem like a solid bunch, I'm not going to charge you too much.
I look at Francisco. I was like, well,
Well, we have something to trade, but its value is significantly more than just a entrance into a city.
Show me.
I take out the dagger, the leather cloth, and kind of open up the cloth and hold the dagger in the hand.
Here's a dagger. This thing is worth a gold crown at best, and you're not even going to sell it for that much in the city like this. This thing looks nasty. Most of the people would not even buy it from you, and those that would, they would probably report you to the authorities. I can already see some kind of overzealous witch hunter thinking that you're some kind of a cultist scum. But I admire a good blade, so I will take it off your hands, and I will escort you into the city. And hell, I'll even leave you with a few coins so you can grab a beer and maybe a bed for a night. A single bed.
sounds like a plan.
I nod
What
to
are we going
that.
to do with Cadvale's horse, by the way?
Well, I don't do horses. I mean, I don't, transport them into the city. That sounded wrong.
Right, well, maybe.
Sorry for that.
Maybe Cadvale will wait for us outside the city.
I imagine he would want to spend.
Yeah. Yes.
He'd find a meadow or something. He'd want to, or
I can stay here, says Cadvale. I'll find a place nearby to stay, me and my horse. You do what you need to do in Wurdbat, just don't take too long.
Right. And if you need to find us, just find the nearest tavern with everybody running out screaming. We'll be there.
I will remember that.
Corpses.
Yes, I will remember that. Behave yourself, Conrad. No more unnecessary bloodshed, right?
Hey, did I kill anybody
Not lately.
this time?
Yes, not lately.
In
So,
a few days.
can we go? Asks the man. By the way, my name is Slippery Stefan. Actually, or did he already introduce himself? I don't
He
know.
already gave us a name.
Oh, sorry. So,
He gives us a different name.
yeah.
Wait a second.
You're the famous Slippery Stefan. I knew it. No. So he...
His name changes like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to tell you my name.
Alright, so you pay me after I get you into the city, of course. Since I'm an honest kind of guy, as you can probably tell. He doesn't really look like an honest kind of guy, just so you know. Alright, in that case, follow me.
Does he lift up his cape in front of his eyes and walk forward?
No. He quickly moves.
Sticks out a hand.
He quickly moves forward, and fortunately, to your relief, he kind of moves away from the main gate. He walks under the walls of the city, and eventually he stops at a small, rusty sewer grate. He pries at one of the corners of the of this ancient metal barrier, and with a small click, the grate comes away. I hope you are not afraid of tight spaces. You will have to move slowly and methodically inside, eh? Come on, follow me, he says.
Alright, lead the way.
And watch your step. There are rats down there. Big rats.
Neither of us dealt with big rats before.
No, not you guys. So, you crouch and, well, almost, half prone, you're moving slowly through the stinking, tight, claustrophobic sewer running under the walls. Now, just let me quickly grab something to drink and I'll be right back, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Let me go to the bathroom break. Okay, I'm back.
I'm back.
Alright, cool.
You guys here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so It took you a good 15 minutes of walking like that to finally emerge at the other end. Of course, the man whose name I've forgotten. I hope that you've noted it, because I don't.
He's given us two already, so.
What was the first?
What was his first? I'm catching up with the notes, so I didn't have. I wasn't at that point. Shady Sam.
Slippery Stefan.
Slippery Stefan was the first.
Yeah.
The second one. There was something else, but yeah, I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that he's Slippery Stefan.
Right.
So Slippery Stefan emerged at the, he stopped at the second grade, did something with the mechanism. You can hear the rusty squeals of rusty old metal. He quietly took out the grate from its hinges and pushed it to the side. Come on, go, he says. You can see that he's visibly strained, holding the big piece of metal.
Mhm. Okay.
So you move
Guess
past
we're going-
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Inside, outside, on the other side of the grate, you see that, you're in a city. You're in one of the bigger cities of the empire. The houses here are maybe, they're not that as impressive as those in Talheim, sorry, or bigger cities like Aldorf or Nuln. If any of you ever visited these places, then you would know. But it's clear that this is one of the largest cities of the empire. It is also in pretty good condition, pretty good shape. Stefan, puts the grate back. Once again, fiddles with it, and you see that it's actually kept in place. All right, as I promised, I got you in. So now about that payment.
I take out the dagger and I say, what say you? 5 shillings as well on your part.
Yeah, sure. You don't even have to roll.
Okay.
Sure thing. That's actually a very good price, he says. Here you go, 5 shillings. Now, be mindful, Wurdbat is a popular leisure place for the rich people in the empire. So some of the hotels and inns and taverns can be quite pricey, eh? So
How pricey?
Pricey, stranger, pricey. I'm sure that you have enough common sense to understand what this means.
I'm just trying to think if 5 shillings was way too low.
Probably.
5 shillings is actually pretty. It's not too low. That's quite a few coins, honestly. And even especially since the man, you didn't have to fight anyone. He just got you in the city, through a stinking but serviceable sewer. So, and you can see that this man, even though he himself looks like a dirty beggar, he pulls out his purse and he produces 5 shillings, gives them to you, Francisco. Run out, have mercy on you, and safe travels, he says. And then he simply, runs away, literally.
All right.
You're in.
Off to the Temple of Myrmidia. What do you say?
By the way, you guys are hungry and thirsty.
Get a drink.
Well, yes, on our way, let's keep an eye out for a fruit stand, somewhere we could just grab a bite to eat on the way.
Sure.
Rat
Like a road. Yeah,
Rat on a
like
stick.
a hot dog.
A bagel.
Hot dog vendor. Coffee shop.
Yeah. Gas station.
Non-caffeinated.
Yeah.
Let's get some gas station sushi.
Oh. Yeah. Hot dogs on gas station, guaranteed to give your bowels a run for their money. Yeah.
Burrito.
Quesadilla. Which actually I had yesterday. It was very tasty. And
Yesterday, or maybe it was Friday, was National Quesadilla Day.
oh, really? Cool.
Supposedly, I don't know. They have national days for every day now.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's this very nice Mexican, real Mexican restaurant not far from us, and they have real good Mexican food. So yeah, I love ordering from them. But anyway, you move through the streets of Wordbat, and even though it's it's almost certainly inhabited by a few thousand people, it is by no means the biggest city in the empire. But the streets are clean mostly. The buildings are well serviced. There are, of course, watch patrols on the streets, and generally you see that at least in the parts that you walk through, they don't seem to be that dangerous, which is a good thing. You eventually, of course, you've passed, a couple of street food vendors. So you had a chance to, for example, I don't know, grab maybe, a sausage, a plate of sausages and a few slices of bread. Wash it down with beer. If you wish so, then it's like 2 pennies per meal, like that.
What's the exchange rate? Shillings to pennies.
12.
It's 12 pennies per shilling.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many? So 2 each, 2 pence each.
Yeah, 2 pence each. Yeah.
Okay.
You really needed that food. You were very hungry, and you were actually, you also felt rather weak still after the fight with these foreign devils and their poison coated weapons. You still didn't recover your strength. You also searched for a Temple of Myrmidia, but you don't really have any idea where it is. So you need to roll me charm tests.
Charm or gossip?
Sorry, gossip, of course, gossip. Sorry, yeah.
Okay. Good, because I can do gossip. Charm, not so much.
Yeah, you charm with your fists.
Kinda. Of course I fail, and I have a freaking high gossip too.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Francisco gossips. And so you learn.
I said, "Hey, Punk, where's the temple?"
Yeah, Sean, I know you're using mobile internet or what? Because when you're speaking, like every second word is quieter than the first and the third, something something like that.
That's weird.
I only notice it when like somebody else is talking at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, it sounds like he's pretty clear. I think, unless that's.
Yeah, say something now, Sean. No one says anything else.
Hello there.
Yeah, now it's good. Yeah, so I think maybe that's that. Maybe when someone else speak. Oh yeah, like right now.
Yep. Yeah. You both said it, and I noticed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll have to. No worries. So we'll have to try and not talk over each other. By the way, Sean, you still have those fires there, right?
Oh, in California, yeah, they're still pretty bad. It's not as much in the news as it was, but there's still some big fires going on. And I was talking to my dad this morning. He was saying that, well, actually, maybe it was last week that he told me that another one of my extended family, brothers, uncles, cousin, his house burnt down too.
Jesus.
So, yeah. He lives down near Fresno, which is quite a ways away from where my folks live. But I mean, not super far, but like an hour away from where they live.
Okay.
We are actually getting a little bit of haze from all the smoke over in Ohio.
Oh yeah, it's people were saying, and they're getting it at the East Coast even.
Jesus. Wow. Yeah.
It's super faint, but like if you're flying or something, you could see just a very thin layer of like, kind of looks like smog but higher, and it's not smog. It's just like smoke.
Yeah.
We don't really get smog where we are or where I'm at.
Yeah, I was driving around town yesterday, and I could see a lot of haze. That, I mean, unfortunately, Phoenix is, sort of like, well, it's in a valley, so we get a lot of, when we have a lot of high pressure that keeps all the smoke and pollution down in the bowl that we're in. But it was pretty bad yesterday.
Okay, well.
So, but I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's not like it was a couple weeks ago, where it's like, oh my god, the whole world is burning now. It's like, yeah, the fires are still burning. So I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's what it is.
Well, in that case, I wish that those fires, will die down soon. Well,
yeah.
Gender reveal parties, man. For the fucking joke.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the stupidest one. But I mean, there's just
there's lots of it.
Fire season, and there's just lots of stuff going on, and not all of them are anything that anybody could have done anything about there.
Yeah, like some could have been natural, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, still, it's pretty bad. So, yeah. So, yeah. Right, so Francisco, you've learned where the temple is. Good for you, I guess. And also good for Conrad, because you know exactly where to go.
Come, Conrad.
Come, Conrad. Conrad. Yeah, you move through the.
This is your god, isn't it, Francisco?
Mike, what?
Myrmidia is your god, isn't
yes,
that
sir.
it?
Yes, comrade, Conrad.
You'll have to teach me how to enter the temple properly.
1 foot behind the other. Backwards. With both hands raised. While saying, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot. It's weird, but that's how we have to do it. You go first.
You also have to twerk. Yeah.
And if anybody stares at you, that's just normal.
Yeah. You eventually reach the place, and you see that it probably saw better days. The Temple of Myrmidia in Wurdbat is domed, and it is also very poorly kept. The columns outside are crumbling, and the walls are stained from weather. Do you enter the place?
Yeah, I will kind of give Conrad the general respected practices, and I will reverently go through enter as if I was just as I am a practitioner of Myrmidia.
Okay, so the question is Conrad actually listening to the to the advice?
Yeah. I mean, Conrad is many things, but he's not a total jerk.
Yeah.
Well, he asked too, so.
Yeah.
Okay, you enter the temple, and as I've said before, it is poorly kept. Inside, for some reason, the place looks even worse than the outside. There are patches of mold on the walls. the columns are crumbling, and the whole place has this musky feel about it. But immediately when you enter the place, your eyes travel up, and you see the fresco, and it is truly a sight to behold. And I've wait, I just need to. Okay, I've uploaded it to the handouts. You can check it for yourselves. The paint has faded on this fascinating piece of art history, known as Myrmidia at the Tree of Hope. But it still takes your breath away. The details, the faded but still colors, the overall workmanship of this fresco is just incredible. If like you just stare at the ceiling, at the domed ceiling, with all in all. Yeah. So my question is, do you guys discuss this in any way, or just you look at it?
So wow. Well, so the main question that comes to mind when looking at it is that constellation something that we would know what the heck that is? The stars above the tree. Is that something that is like, oh, that's the Big Dipper, or whatever.
the mighty pecker, yeah. So I don't honestly know. You guys still have the journal of the Necrarch. Oh, sorry, of the vampire, rather.
Oh yeah, let's see if there's any patterns. Let's see.
And you also remember the patterns drawn in blood in the Temple of Mor in Talheim. But you don't think that they correlate in any way to this?
Yeah, well, what I was getting at with the question was just if it was like, because there are certain constellations, at least in the States, that where everybody knows what they are when they look. They're like, oh, that's that. You just know what it's referring to. Whereas, so I don't know if that constellation is like, oh yeah, that's whatever that everybody knows about, or if it's something specific to Myrmidia.
Well, you don't really know, unfortunately.
Would I know? Now, Manan is my main religion, but Myrmidia is also a very, that's a very Estalian, Chilean religion as well.
More like Chilean, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it carries. I'm just. It doesn't look. I imagine it's original to the original piece of art. It's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what these numbers are on this journal too.
Especially as a champion, Myrmidia would be something.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I got Myrmidia. Something about 47, 252, life equals 3. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, now at least I understand the numbers. So that's not a J, that's a I, or so it's they're using Roman numerals to cipher the different names. To get to so that I figured out. right?
Yeah.
Because M is 4, Y is 7.
Yep.
All right. So, well, I don't know what that tells us, but that's helpful to a certain extent.
I want to whisper to Conrad if should this be something we. God, did we see any kind of friar or priest or priest?
Funny that you've mentioned that, because as you guys look at the fresco, you, by the way, Francisco, you don't know almost any. You don't have any clue about the significance of things, of certain details on this fresco. Sadly, it's just too obscure for you. You suddenly hear a loud crash erupting from a nearby alcove. "Would you mind giving me a hand over here?" calls a voice from the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
You check the sound. You check the noise out.
Yeah, I'll say I'll go, and then you can wait here.
Okay.
Okay.
You're afraid I'm going to kill him?
You enter.
If it is something devious, then we're not both in the same situation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So anyway,
Okay.
you enter the small alcove to the side, and inside you see that an elderly priest buried himself beneath a pile of fallen armor, formerly mounted on the wall. Yeah, and the man is like I've mentioned before, older, but he's still in good shape, even though his hair is white. When you help him up, I presume that you do, of course.
Yeah, and I want to say something clever, like it's haven't been keeping up on your prayers. I think this is Mormidia's way of saying you need to be more reverent.
Oh, a stallion with a sense of humor, he says. Funny that. I am Pirello, the local and only priest of Mirmidia in this town, city. Pleased to make your acquaintance. You're a mercenary? If so, then you're the first mercenary in a very, very long time to visit this place. Nowadays, Woodbat is not visited by mercenaries that much.
Well, that is sad to hear, but yes,
He shakes your hand in a manner of
traveling
warriors.
swordsman.
He shakes your hand in a manner of a warrior. Well met. Your name is
Francisco Navarro.
Navarro.
And my comrade here is Conrad.
Yeah, you see that, Conrad. You see that the swordsman exits the alcove, and with an elderly priest dressed in long robes with a symbol of an eagle superimposed on a shield.
He too is a magnificent swordsman.
I can see. I mean, that sword on his hip. It's clearly a weapon which can be wielded only by an extraordinary swordsman. I am Pirello, he says. Welcome to my temple, and he extends his hand to you, Conrad.
I shake his hand.
You're a Sigmarite, eh?
Yes.
You are welcome here.
Thank you.
While our faiths are not always aligned in the same way, especially when it comes to tactics, I always respected the man god a lot. After all, his fighting prowess is still legendary. So you boys visited this historic landmark, which, as you can see, is slowly falling apart, eh? It really needs some urgent repairs.
Yes, well, even though it is not my native religion, it is good to see something at least close to home, so far away in this empire.
Say, you're mercenaries, or I mean, you don't have to tell me, but if you are, and if you are looking for an honest coin to earn, then I may have a task for you. Actually, a few tasks. And I will reward you not only with money, but with a small history lesson as well.
We're in need of both money and a history lesson.
Well, then I guess we can help each other out. I will also take a look at that arm, young man, he says to you, Francisco. And on that nasty gash on your head there, Ostlander, if I'm not mistaken. You're from Ostland, right? The accent.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, the accent betrayed you, my friend. Oh, in that case, sit on this bench over there, and I will take care of you.
This is most welcome.
Very well. You've eaten anything today? Drunk anything today?
We did have a meal.
Oh, very well. Very well.
But that's not to say that we would not be grateful for any sustenance. We have fallen on hard times and have little coin.
I can see your purses are if not almost, then they are if not completely, then they're almost empty. Fortunately for you, I like to help my fellow Myrmidians, even if they're not worshipping Myrmidia. He looks at you, Conrad, and winks. He's, of course, staring that as he is patching your wounds. He brought a source of doctor back, and he cleans your wounds, he sews, he resets your hand, Francisco, and that's incredibly painful. You even had to bite down on a big piece of leather. Now don't cry like a baby, he says. And all the while he tells you about this place. Now that fresco over there, eh? It's one of the wonders of Woodbat. It was actually, did you know that it was painted by Leonardo da Miragliano, the brilliant inventor and gifted artist? This temple was completed in 2011, I see, and was a place for the mercenaries to worship. It was during the first wars against the counts of Slovenia, he says. You saw that he probably wanted to say something else, but then he quickly changed. During that wars, Tylian mercenaries flooded Woodbat seeking employment. And that's why this temple was commissioned. Da Miragliano was actually commissioned to paint this fresco. It was his last work before entering the Emperor's service. You're a military man, so I probably don't have to tell you that he was the one responsible for the design of the fabled steam tanks. The steel and steam behemoths that can turn the tide of any battle.
I ask him, is that true? Does such a thing actually exist?
Oh, yes, it is. I even saw it with my own eyes. When I was younger, I was a mercenary myself. Fought in quite a few wars. In the Empire as well. I saw those machines being employed against the Greenskins. Terrible things they were. An entire regiment of goblins just ran away when one of those things, drove at them. Miragliano was a genius, but I sometimes wonder if he was perhaps too much of a genius, if you know my drift. He invented many terrible weapons, still employed by the Emperor and his armies. Anyway, this painting there, and he says that as he's sewing your wound, Conrad. It was actually based on an earlier painting by the one Prince Giovanni Lanfranchi of the Mass, a famous crusading Tylian merchant prince, and a highly skilled artist and devoted theologian, 500 years before Miragliano's time. The Lanfranchi originals are lost, but it is believed that Miragliano copied Myrmidia, the Tree of Hope, from one panel of the triptych. Yes, Anyway, and he, finishes patching your wounds. You guys, if you are heavily wounded, you are now lightly wounded. And Francisco, you no longer have the...
Sorry, hold on a second.
Sure.
Is that 4 wounds? Is the limit? Is it 3 or less? Is heavily wounded?
You have 4 wounds.
Okay.
Okay. So you can let's just wait for Sean.
And yeah, do I gain some use of that arm again?
You have full use of it again, but
Okay.
I'll tell you the details when
Alright.
Sean comes back.
All right, sorry about that.
Everything is okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It's a math homework issue, I guess, and my daughter's helping him. She's better at math than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't anything important. It was just too much of a ruckus. Okay, so you were saying we got up to 4 hit points?
Yeah, 4 hit points. Your head wound is stitched and sterilized. And Francisco, your arm is it's still not fine. But Pirello says in a few days you'll be able to fully use it. I've did all I could. It was a nasty wound that you took there. Fortunately for you, I've learned quite a few tricks in the in medical tents during my youth. So, you boys still interested in that honest coin and maybe some good food, which you're going to get anyway?
It is the least we can do for your hospitality.
I have 3 tasks for you. I need, as I've mentioned before, the temple needs repairs, and I would like for you to help me with the repairs. I will also offer you additional information when you help me. I think it's only fair. And this information, I don't know, but I have a feeling that it might be useful to you. Call it old man's intuition, or perhaps maybe a sign from my goddess. And you see that he looks very seriously at you. I don't ignore such things. So, well, task 1. You have to clear cobwebs from the rafters. I have a tall ladder right here, and he fetches a tall ladder. It should take you maybe an hour to do so. Oh, you don't have to worry about accommodations. You can sleep in the temple. I mean, it's not very comfortable here, but I won't charge you, eh?
Sounds perfect.
Very well. So, who's going to clear the cobwebs first, eh?
I can do it. I can probably get up the ladder easier than.
Yeah, and I'll support the ladder unless he has like something else he wants us to do. And then in the meantime, I'll if he's telling us if he's giving us information while we're working, if not while we're working, I'd be kind of telling him, leaving out the context of our mission. I'll just kind of be discussing where we have been and what we have done, and just places, and just kind of normal conversations, kind of like returning the favor of story for a story type of thing.
Just leave out the random peasant murder parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you could tell your stories.
All right.
And then a few days went by.
No, that was an accident. Yeah.
He ran into my fist.
Yeah. And so I had this shield, and I just started bashing people.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, Conrad, you get up the ladder. You get on the ladder, and you check the rafters. There are indeed quite a few cobwebs there. Meanwhile, Francisco, you chat with Pirello, telling him your story, and you can see that this man is actually he is interested in it. It's not like yes, oh yeah, shut up. He's actually interested in what you have to say. Now, Conrad, you have to make me a +30 scale shear surface tests. If you don't have scale shear surfaces, then it's half agility +30.
Can I help him by holding the ladder or anything like that?
Let's say that you can, but only for +5.
Okay. So I do not have scale shear.
Yeah.
Scale shear surface. Oh, and of course I roll. I'm gonna use a luck.
Okay. Wait. You don't have to use luck. You can just repeat the test.
Okay.
Of course, you won't be able to do that indefinitely, but I will tell you when you get additional penalties or when you won't be able to continue. So for now, let's just roll once again. You've passed. You've passed. Seriously, yeah. Because you've passed. You've within an hour you've cleared the cobwebs. It was kind of tiring, honestly. I mean, it took you an entire hour and you had to work from a ladder, but you finished it. After this, Pirello organized a meal for you. He just went to a nearby inn and brought back some tasty food, meat marinated in vinegar with and honey, black bread baked with onions, and of course wine. He brought a bottle of according to him very cheap, but actually also very good wine. He says that he usually goes to this inn when he's getting hungry. He also told you, well, Lanfranchi, see, the man who created the original Myrmidia, the Tree of Hope, he collected artifacts and scrolls on his crusades to Araby, and I don't know if you know this, but he founded the order that would precede the Fellowship of the Shroud, a Morian sect based in Siegfriedhof. You ever heard about them?
No.
They are dedicated to the destruction of the living dead. Yes, Siegfriedhof is still in Stirland, but it's overlooking the border with Sylvania. And when he said that, he made the sign of Myrmidia. Yes, Lanfranchi was quite a character. Now, if you replace broken tiles on the floor, I will tell you more about him, eh?
Sounds great.
Certainly. That's something I can do as well.
Yes, this since none of you have, I presume, trade carpenter at all, this will take you 6 hours total.
Okay.
And you must succeed on agility test or damage even more tiles, creating a tripping hazard, because the tiles here are in really bad shape. You both can work, which means that one of you tests with an additional bonus of +20 from the other one.
Okay. I don't know if you want the +20 or
agility.
Sure.
So Francisco, you're doing that. Okay. So roll agility. Remember that. In that case, you'll be able to spend. Actually, you'll be probably able to spend Cat Veil's luck. I'll allow it for this game. Nice. After 6 hours, after it already got dark outside, you've replaced all of the tiles. You are really, really tired. Pirello organized a light supper for you. More wine, of course, and also buckwheat with bacon, beans, and onions and garlic, plus some more bread. He looks at the tiles. Nah, that's just swell. That's just swell. This temple is finally returning to its former splendor. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. Now eat up. I will tell you something that not many people know. You see, Lanfranchi's expeditions, and he organized quite a few of them. After all, he was a merchant prince. Anyway, his expeditions landed him in Nehekhara by accident, one of them. And it is said that his army fought against the Zandri Tomb Kings. That was the defining moment of his life. He later became a renowned vampire hunter. Yes. He saw things in that faraway sun-kissed land that made him realize that the undead are probably one of the, if not the biggest threats to the old world and beyond. He and that was also the place from which he brought many artifacts and scrolls, as that I mentioned before. So yes, quite a tale, eh?
Yes, it's amazing.
Yes. Now, if you finish me with one last thing, I will tell you the last secret that I know, and for some reason I think that you'll be very interested in it. But this last thing is hard. It will take a few hours, so perhaps you wish to retire to the alcoves for today and return to the work tomorrow after breakfast, eh?
Sounds welcome.
Yeah.
Excellent. In that case, let me show you where you sleep. As I've mentioned before, I only have a few straw mattresses and, well, not much, but I see that you have your blankets, so at least that's something.
We have been sleeping on the road in very obscure places. Anything with shelter over our head would be most welcome.
Oh, it's a good thing then that you've stumbled upon this place, eh? And that I'm your generally friendly priest. And with that, he showed you a small side alcove, similar to the one in which you found him, laying under the pile of armor. He brought 2 old straw mattresses, and he laid them on the floor. So, here. Sleep well, but let me just tell you that since this is a temple, I am getting up very early. Very early. I hope that you don't mind.
Not at all.
Excellent. Excellent. Have a good night then, he says. And, he left you alone, and he began to prepare the temple for the night, just dousing the candles and lanterns, making sure that the doors are locked, stuff like that. You guys want to talk about anything, or you just go to...
I'll just say, sounds like our next stop may be Siegfriedhof and Sylvania.
Yeah.
I wonder where the rest of the panels of the triptych are, or we can figure out what they're telling us.
Well, the old man seems to have extraordinary knowledge on that he might share with us tomorrow. Can't say anything, but I'm very curious to hear what he has to say.
Me too. Let's get some sleep.
Yeah, I'll say a prayer to Manon and Mermedia.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, if they have a little, I don't know what you'd call it, like a little pew thing, like what do they call it? A little
the confessional, stuff like that.
No, like a particular space where you pray with where there's like an idol or whatever.
I mean there is an altar to the ego goddess.
Yeah, I'll do that for the prayer of Mermedia, and then go back to the mattress and sleep.
Okay. Yeah, you go back to the mattress. Conrad is already snoring when you return. Dreaming of delivering killer punches to peasants.
Clearing out taverns.
Cleaning out taverns from the guard. And yeah, Knuckle sandwich delivery. Order up, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much. I was getting actually. I did think like, how much do you want to pay for this? I was like, how about a knuckle sandwich?
Knock knock. Who's there? Knuckles.
Yeah.
I could see you like envisioning yourself in a mural, just like spooking those guards out of the inn.
Yeah. And anyway, you go to sleep. Now, just let me quickly check one thing in my notes. Yeah, so Francisco, you can use your arm normally now, just so you know. Oh, you also recovered 1 hit point each after this night.
Okay. Sweet.
All right.
Yeah. You wake up very early, or rather, you're woken up very early by the priest because you would honestly like to sleep more after after the last battle and the trek here and especially the chores in the temple. But as Pirello said, he wakes up early and there's work to be done. So after a light meal for breakfast and drinking a fresh cup of milk each, he tells you about the final task. Now, you see, boys, there's a leak in the Abs dome, and I'm afraid that if left unchecked, this leak could result in irreparable damage to the fresco. I will need you to go up there to the dome and fill the crack with pitch. Or, it will be a temporary fix, but it's better than nothing because I know that you're not tradesmen. But if for some reason you would be able to spend a few hours there and conduct permanent repair work, I would be most obliged.
Right.
Yeah. Very well.
So,
A bucket of pitch.
yeah, he already prepared that. And he once again presented you with the ladder. So the Francisco, I presume, is securing the ladder while Conrad gets up and prepares to fix the leak.
Still scale shear surface or something else?
Yeah, plus 30 scale shear surface once again. But this will be only first of the few rows. Okay.
That would be no.
Yes, you unfortunately failed. You had to get down from the ladder, in mid-climb because you didn't have a good grip on the bucket. So roll again. Nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
Second time's the charm. You see the leak, and indeed, water, is gathering there. You shudder to think about the damages to this, piece of art history. So you begin to fill the crack with pitch. Now, roll me plus 30 perception test.
Okay.
You've noticed a loose brick on the fresco at the base of the tree.
I try to pull it out and see if there's anything in there. Search for traps.
You remove the brick, and a metal object falls out to the floor with a loud clang between you, Francisco, and Pirello. Pirello is like, "Whoa!"
I say, what is that?
He picks up the box. Conrad, you've done there? You're done there?
Yeah, just let me put this brick back in.
All right. just the way it was originally put, eh?
Puts it in upside down.
Yeah. Conrad, you replace the brick and you get down.
Yeah.
Pirello is holding the small box. You gather around him. You see that this little box is made of brass and steel, and it's clear that it is a masterpiece.
I ask him what it is, thinking that
you also see that this box is very old, but there's barely a tinge of rust on it. Wait a second. You also spot, all of you, that it has many moving parts which can be configured into different shapes.
Oh. Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Do any of the shapes kind of look similar to what I'm just going to look at.
You see that
we got the marking on the wood, and then we have the okay. I'm just kind of looking at our ciphers and images and stuff.
You see that the priest is like, I can't believe my eyes. This is one of Miragliano puzzle boxes. It was under the roof of my temple the last 500 years. Huh! And look, there's barely a tinge of rust on it. Incredible.
It seems our coming here was what's the word?
Told in the stars?
Told in the stars.
I think I've heard tales of these boxes. They are the Miragliano created them in a very specific way. Only a genius could open them, or only someone who knew the so-called I believe it's called Miragliano model, but I have no idea what it is. Perhaps I guess we can prize it open, but I'm afraid what would happen then. Knowing Miragliano, he actually made a contingency plan for something like that. Now he looks at you, he looks at the box, he looks at you. You should take it. It is clear to me that Myrmidia chose you for a reason. You would not enter this temple otherwise just because, and you would not find this box. You have a destiny before you, and I'm just an old priest. I could retain this box, but I wouldn't be able to do anything with it. And even if I did, it probably wouldn't do anyone any good. You should keep it. And he gives the box to you, Francisco.
I say thank you, and if it comes time where we can open it, and if it's anything that
you can always try opening it. You see that the moving parts here, probably there is a chance, albeit small, to find the proper configuration. Perhaps you can open it even without knowing the model. Whatever is inside, I think it will be important to you. Oh, and as the promised third piece of knowledge, and he looks at you with a grave look, the triptych. It is said that the third unknown section of the original triptych is rumored to be buried in Lanfranci's crypt in Siegfriedhof. That is where the Fellowship of the Shroud has its main headquarters. And that is because that is a place that, Lanfranci created after he became a vampire hunter. He founded this monastery to better combat the forces of darkness. Just so you know, it might be useful to you.
That is very useful. What did he already tell us, or do we already know what's depicted on the first triptych?
He only not the Myrmidia one, but the
one that the skulls supposedly have.
Yes, he tells you. He tells you. He tells you that. Wait a second. I need to. Yes, the well, actually, said media is the first triptych, the first part.
Oh, okay.
The second part represents Sigmar.
Okay.
Yes, and the third part, unknown one. Well, I don't know what it represents, but
Right.
I've heard rumors that it is buried in Siegfriedhof, in the tomb of Lanfranchi.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for giving us food and shelter and all this information. It's been invaluable.
Well, it is I who should thank you. You've helped me in my hour of need. I'm just an old priest, and I wouldn't be able to do all these things by myself. Because of you, this temple hopefully will once again be able to gather more people of of your statues from around the world, and I will eventually commission a trade master to fix the dome, so that the fresco will remain untouched and unchanged for many more years to come. Yes. Thank you, and I will give you. I've prepared some food for you for your travels, and I've also scrounged a couple of coins, which, well, might be useful to you on the road, eh?
Yes. Thank you.
Very well. And anyway, he actually disappears in one of the smaller alcoves, returns with a wicker basket covered in cloth. You know that there's food there. He tells you that there's food there, wine, and he also gave you a total of 5 crowns.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think Francisco should be the keeper of the money now.
Okay. All right. Added.
Yeah. So, with that, he bids you farewell, and you exit the temple.
Blessings to Mermedia on you. I say as
And you,
we depart.
And you, my son. May the goddess of war send her guidance to you wherever you need it, and make you outsmart your opponents on the field of battle. And with that, he closes the door behind you, and you are on the streets of Wordbat again. And sorry, I'm going to bring myself just a bottle of water, so I not have to run every like half an hour. Sorry guys for that, but I'm just
No
very
problem.
thirsty. But don't go anywhere. I'll be back in like a minute or even less.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I know. I was going to say something about a Fibonacci sequence to open up the.
Oh.
Well, so I wonder. We've got these weird numbers that are circled. I don't know. I'm having a little bit of trouble envisioning those little box.
Yeah, I was looking at that too, and I was also looking at the image next to it. I don't know if the image next to it has anything to do with it, but
It might. Although, it's incomplete, so. But it sounds like essentially we're going to Siegfriedhof. So, I guess one question I have is I don't know if we could use the river and travel upriver to Siegfriedhof, and then that way we wouldn't have to walk the whole way or whatever. But I don't know if that's going to save us any time or be any safer. And obviously we have to get Cadville.
yeah. So Siegfried Hof. Okay, so that's just through the Great Forest.
Yeah, through the Great Forest, or
maybe we could. I wonder if we could travel along the forest, like not in the forest, but along the forest. I don't know if there'd be a road that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I'm thinking the safer the way is the best. Safer more than faster, but I don't know how much. Do you think we're time constrained?
Probably. No, but I mean that's the thing. As I was thinking that you know, by a river there's less chance to get jumped and things like that. You know.
Yeah, we just have to probably pay for wage, or pay for like a ferry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's just, I don't know if we have the money or.
Now, do we know if Siegfried Hof is an actual, like, what's the closest thing? There's Krugheim, or is Siegfried Hof, is that a castle? Like, is it?
No, it's a city.
Okay, it's not like a city, like a. All right, I wasn't sure if it was like some kind of castle where there's trouble type of thing, where villagers, like, people won't take us there for whatever reason. So I was thinking if we needed to, if people refused taking us there, what would be the closest thing?
Yeah. I'm looking at I don't know, if he really uses Gitzman's map or not. I'm looking at Gitzman's to try to figure out if there is a closer, or, like what the route would be, but maybe it's not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gitzman maps are awesome.
Breaks down. Yeah. There's not really an direct. Well, I mean, you can go. Yeah, we were just talking about like ways to get to Siegfriedhof, and I was suggesting that it might be time to try to take a river route, but I don't know if you can go upriver easily to get to Siegfriedhof from. Also, in Gitzman's map, it looks a little farther away from the river than I thought it was.
Upriver is not really that easy, unfortunately.
Right. I know they have like barges that are horse-drawn. Well, I don't know if Warhammer has that type of thing, but or if there's like a road that follows the river, like a common road, where it's trafficked enough that they'd actually have, patrols on it, just to kind of reduce the shenanigans we might see on the way.
Yeah, according to Gitzman's, there's a road that goes on the north side of the river through Krugenheim. It's called the East Road, but we'd have to get off the road at Bissendorf and head and essentially pass by Mordheim to get to Siegfriedhof, according to this map.
So there's nothing wrong with that, right? We just cut right through Mordheim.
Yeah.
Mordheim is in ruins, so.
I know, that was a joke.
Yeah.
Get some wardstone.
Magnus and his army after the Great War with Chaos just raised the ruins to the ground, so there's not even that.
Okay. But yeah, so anyway, so I was just trying to think of how we could get there slightly easier than our normal overland travel, but it doesn't seem like there is.
It seems Sturland has been less of, like, it seems like the river has been quite the buffer to kind of disaster. Is there a road that's in Sturland that leads between the two towns?
Oh, you'd probably, first of all, you don't really know where exactly Xathrodox86's is, so you'd have to roll me gossip tests
Oh, okay.
to learn more about it.
So is that what we're gonna do next? Is head out of town and
Yeah, I think I don't know if we have enough food, because that's the thing is that so the main thing is I don't know if we need to buy more food. I'm assuming that we do in order to make the trip to Siegfriedhof, but it seems like all roads are pointing to Siegfriedhof right now.
So so roll gossip, both of you. Ooh.
do I even need to roll? I'll roll though. Gossip.
Oh, they chase us out of town with pitchforks.
Now.
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
Your money is gone. No, just kidding. Well, right. Conrad, you were told that the journey between Wurdbad or Hermsdorf and Siegfriedhof will take you about 8 or 9 days. You can either go through the North Road, through the Great Forest, crossing the River Ster at Marburg before entering Hunsheimer Wald. The South Road is a more scenic option, offering a view of the rolling hills and misty fields of western Stirland. Siegfriedhof lies on the north shore of Lake Svalsee, and apparently the town of Siegfriedhof is built into the face of a rock pinnacle high above the surrounding landscape.
Oh, sorry, I accidentally just rolled again.
No problem. So that's what you've learned.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Francisco, like, you were holding the money?
Yes.
Okay. Easy come, easy go. You know what they say. They've stole 2 pennies from you.
Okay.
Only 2 pennies. Yeah.
I'll give him my 2 cents.
So that's what you've learned about Siegfriedhof on the streets of Wurdbad.
Okay.
It is very early still. The sky is overcast. It rains slightly. So my question is, how do you want to do this?
I think we should figure out if we can buy enough food to get us to Siegfriedhof.
Do you? Well, this might require a common knowledge test, but like, if we're on the road for a day, will we be out of and I'm using this term as like the as far as hunting, will we be out of the forest of Wurdbad to where we can hunt freely?
Whom you've asked about that?
Oh well, I don't know if we need to ask or if would be a common knowledge thing that we would just know.
You would know that probably if you were a Stirlander, but
okay.
I
think that would be worth asking. Like, and I'd be okay asking, like an official, because like, for that type of to see if it would be legal for us to hunt while we're on the road, or if we would need to make sure we have guaranteed provisions, which is fine. Like, we could pick up provisions as well, but
in this basket you have provisions for the 3 of you for 2 full days of travel. So it means that you should probably get provisions for either 6 or 7 more days if you want to reach Siegfriedhof in relative, comfort and not starving.
My suggestion is that we just buy the rations.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to worry about that, because so far hunting hasn't been as full as we really need.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sadly.
We will follow in the ways of Myrmidia and strategize our travel a little better.
Okay.
And I would suggest that we take the scenic route in Stirland, because it seems like Stirland is a little less hazardous.
And it just sounds nicer to me going through rolling hills than forest roads.
Okay, yeah, we've had our fill of forest roads, I think.
Yeah.
And forest caves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And beasts, forest beasts.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, that's try to find some like rations for, I guess for how many? 21 days. Split between 3 people is 7 days.
All right. You want to buy? Does any of you have his rulebook handy?
I do.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I have it nearby, but nearby means that I need to get up, and I don't want to get up.
All right. See, what would that be under?
Yeah, rations.
Equipment. Let me know if you get it before me.
Well, so we rations per week.
Yeah.
According to this, it is 6 plus shillings.
So 18 shillings for 3 of you. And check how much food for a horse costs.
Oh, okay. Of course, I just closed it.
Because horses can eat grass for some time, but they will need, their normal fare.
Okay, of course this does. Oh, fodder per day is 5 pennies.
For how much?
It just says per day. Yeah,
per day.
fodder.
So 7 days, so 35 pennies. So 18 shillings, right? 35 pennies. I count this correctly?
I think so.
Yeah. So 35 pennies is 3 shillings. So add 3 shillings to
so
the
a gold crown and a shilling.
total for
I think
everything.
Yeah.
All right. So
sorry, gold crown, shilling, and 5 pennies.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 and all right. Updated.
Cool. So I guess that you've bought all of the required things still in Woordbat, including food for horse. Right?
Yes.
Then you've exited through the one of the gates.
A different gate.
Yeah, different gate, so as not to meet the.
Want to make that clear.
The friendly sergeant.
Yeah. Hey, how'd you get inside? Run!
It wasn't us. It was the warriors.
I was say, I came in when your mom was on guard duty.
Schwacked. Yeah. So Jesus Christ. Anyway, I mean, your mom jokes were like 2008. So anyway, you've exited Urdbat through one of the side gates and approached the field where supposedly Cadvale is supposed to stay on. As you get closer, you indeed spot his horse, frolicking merrily through the grass. Actually, just standing there eating grass, because what else is it supposed to do?
Yeah.
And as you approach the horse, you see that Cadvale, emerges from the tall grass, the wild, untamed elf hunter, with his strange horns on shoulders. He looks at you, and he winks. Wink. Welcome. So you're back. I was getting worried.
Yes, we found out a lot of information at the temple. It looks like we need to go to Siegfriedhof. We bought more food for us and the horse.
Excellent. So we continue our travels. Is the child there?
We don't know, but there may be a clue to the mystery of the child.
I see. Very well. You also seem to have your wounds healed pretty well.
Yes, we had a most welcome stay at the Temple of Myrmidia.
That's actually good to know.
We could fill you in on much of what we learned while we were on the road, and then I kind of unsling the feed and kind of count out 7 days of rations, and pass it off to
Cadvale, yeah.
Cadvale, assuming Conrad already gave his right away.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Cadvale takes the rations. You're all standing on this misty field in the light drizzle. He hides the rations in his travel packs, gives some of the fodder to the horse, then mounts the animal, and you're set to go on your way. You of course tell him everything during your travel.
Yeah.
I exercise my hand, kind of.
Okay.
That is by myself in the bushes regularly.
Jesus.
Francisco's mood is much more positive than it's been, and just.
And now the newest episode of Masturbatory Stories with Francisco. Yes, well, yeah. I mean, I know what you're doing. You're trying to recover the feel in your hand. Yeah, sure. Of course.
Of course, that's what I'm doing.
The travel to the town of Xathrodox eastwards. Actually, you move. First of all, you move towards the south. You move through the south road, but you still move east. It takes you a good couple of days, during your travels, fortunately, nothing bad happens. You're not assaulted by beastmen, by bandits. The fields and the rolling hills of eastern Stirlands are indeed very tranquil and serene, although the constant fog sometimes makes you wonder what exactly could be hiding, in the mists. But
halflings.
Yeah, they are close. From what you understand, they are pretty close. The so-called Mut, the province of the halflings, known for its not only short but hardy folk, but also excellent food and wines, is nearby. Yeah, and however, after a few days, something happened. Francisco.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Let me quickly check. Okay. Do you want to row yourself?
Sure.
Okay, just
fate is in my hands.
Let me. First of all, we show. Actually, first of all, I will probably roll, but for something else. Yeah. Okay. Sorry for that now, because I need to count now. This is always fun. Okay. That's good. And now I would like you to roll, but wait a second. I don't remember if it's D100 or D1000. D100. Roll me D100, Francisco.
Okay.
4. No, you're in luck. Apparently. Four days after you've left Wurtbad, Francisco, when you've woken up, you've discovered, with some alarm, that you have a rash. A nasty kind of rash. On your face.
Okay.
And all of you see that, by the way, including you, Conrad.
Mhm.
you have your entire face is covered in thick red, filled with pus. Well, boils.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It came from that stupid box.
Yeah.
The herpes box.
The box of herpes.
Shouldn't have been using it as a pillow.
Yeah. I mean, they're not like, huge. They're like big zits.
Okay.
But
Or does it hurt?
no, they kind of itch. But you still have, you still have the scars from the pox that you've went through.
Okay.
And so this isn't really helping your your appearance. They don't look nice. Let me just put it that way.
All right. Heck, I guess that's the only real thing I think would be different is the fact that I have the box. I'm carrying the box.
Well, does any of you? I mean, Conrad, are you saying anything? Cadveo just looks at you, Francisco, and he's like, "Are you sick?"
I don't feel sick. Do I not feel sick?
You don't.
Okay.
Say,
No.
yeah,
Why do you say?
because your face. What's
You're,
wrong with it?
yeah, your face looks kind of strange, Francisco.
I guess I'll kind of.
I mean, you feel that you have the
Yeah.
the boils. It's like a rash. It's not like plague boils, like I've said.
Yeah.
They're pretty small, but they are red and they are filled with white pus.
Well, I don't know what it could be.
Maybe we should try to cover your face a little bit. I guess we're still out in the countryside, but think about it when we get closer to town.
Do you have enough loose cloth? I guess from the rations he wrapped with, we have enough cloth that I can.
Yeah, sure.
In the meantime, I'll fashion like a scarf and have it around my neck in case we come up against travelers. I can kind of shade my face.
Very well, of course. You do that.
And I'm suspicious of. I guess we'll tell Cadvale about the box. That's the only thing that I guess Francisco is thinking if with what the I don't know if he was the priest said about there could be something if you don't do the code right for the box. That's the only thing that's on Francisco's mind though.
Yeah, I want to ask you if you're trying to open the box.
Yeah. Well, what I wanted to do was just to look at the box to see if I mean, does it just look like anything I've ever seen before that I could just. I guess I'm having trouble envisioning it, and if the general idea is that you have to put it in a certain way, and I don't think I can do it, then I won't touch it or I won't try to open it.
Okay. Well, it is a puzzle box of sorts, and
Okay.
it certainly looks complicated, but you can always try.
Francisco isn't the brightest tool in the glass house, so
Does that mean he would try to open it?
I know Conrad will just punch the box.
Yeah, I'll open it with my fist. Well, if you want to try it, try it. I could get out the box.
Well, yeah, Conrad does want to look at it and handle it, so I guess that means So okay, I'm just gonna try to see if I can solve the puzzle and open the box. How about that? Let's be concrete interactions.
Yeah, wait a second.
Let me get out the chart of dooms.
My question is, did you learn what the geometrical shapes in the temple in Talheim were?
Oh, you mean those? No, we never learned what that was. We see drawing.
Yeah. You never learned, right?
We never.
Okay.
We never learned what they were.
So in that case, roll me -30 intelligence test.
Okay.
And you have to pass a couple of tests.
Okay.
To do so.
Intelligence. There we go. So I've got a whole whopping 12 to work with. So close.
So close. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So, do I have to keep on going, or can I? Just
no,
be like,
you can either do it later, or you can just keep on going if you wish to.
Conrad is going to feel that he gave it his best shot, and he has no clue how to open this box.
Okay. Okay, so you're not touching the box anymore. Okay, sure.
I'm like, I don't understand this thing.
Yeah, I want to wrap it in a cloth.
Wait,
to make sure.
maybe I'll try it, says Catvale. He has 50.
Yourself out.
Oh,
Go for it.
I can always try, right?
Yeah.
He will try and do this 8 times, 1 hour every day during your travel. Oh man, that smoke there is kind of bad.
He's got the corona.
No, he's not. I'm sure he's fine. Sean, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just moved the microphone away from my face for a second.
Okay. It's the smoke, right?
No, I have a cough from time to time. I think it's I've been having allergies the last week or so.
Oh. As an allergic man, I know that it sounds. Could be
smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, it's allergy season for my area. The fall.
Yeah. For here, we're it's starting to cool off. It's like it was only 105 yesterday.
Okay. Well, in that case, as a fellow allergy man, I wish you all the best. And let's see, 7 more rolls from Catvale. You guys can roll as well if you wish to during those days, like an hour each day.
Yeah, my intelligence is so low that what you guys are doing is beyond my.
So, Conrad, you want to try or you're passing?
It's still -30.
Yeah, each day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try because I feel like I'm just gonna break the box if I do it too much.
Okay, so I'm going to roll for Catvale. Day 2nd day, 3rd day, 4th day, 5th day.
Looks like you're getting better at it.
He passed 6th day.
Yep.
Whoo!
Hey!
On 6th day, he opened the box.
Amazing.
The elf, you saw that this box became kind of an obsession for him. And on 6th day, when you were sitting around the campfire, you've heard a small click. You registered it after like a second or two because you didn't believe that Catvale would be able to open the box. But you see that suddenly the box becomes a cube with a pyramid lid on one face. And inside the box, of course, you all get closer to see what's inside the box. There's a tiny scroll with 6 words forming a circle of script. Does any of you have classical?
Oh man,
I don't think
we
so.
are not the classical bunch. I don't think.
Let me double check.
I don't think that any of you do.
No.
I will check Cadvale, but I also think that
Bodyguard, mercenary, veteran.
yeah.
No. Doesn't sound like it.
When the trees start speaking Asrai.
Yeah, sorry, don't have.
Yeah,
Clever.
Cadvale also don't have him. Ironically, Nils had classical,
Yeah.
but the homophobe Conrad unfortunately led to his death.
Oh, he would have died anyway.
Yeah, I still can't believe that you guys thought that I would be so childish to include something like that. But well, maybe I am. Who knows? Poor Nils was just a mutant.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's what you saw. The scroll is very tiny. It is also incredibly old. If what Pirello told you at the temple, the box is 500 years old, so that means that the scroll is 500 years old, and yet it is in a. I don't say pristine, but it's in a very good condition. For a piece of 500-year-old parchment, well, it is really something.
Conrad wants to take a minute to try to copy it down as best he can, just in case.
You can read and write, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you take a piece of coal, you take a scrap of parchment, and you copy those strange words. You don't know what they mean, honestly.
That's fine.
You copy them in a way that they're written, so like a circle, right?
Yeah.
Mm,
I try as best I can to copy it exactly as it looks.
okay, sure, no problem. And you're back on the road eventually.
Mhm.
At some point between Wurbat and Siegfriedhof, you are all given a vision in the form of a dream. I mean all of you, because if you were talking to each other about this, then you would know that your friends also had this vision.
Okay. We all kind of space out.
I mean, it was during your sleep, during one of the nights between Wurbat and Siegfriedhof. Yeah, not on the road.
I thought it
but
happened.
no,
I thought it happened as he was like scribing.
no, it was in a dream. By the way, Jason, you see that if Vincent would still live to this day, this would probably be the adventure for him. Not only are we going to the headquarters of the Knights Raven and Fellowship of the Shroud, you also have Morite portents.
Yep, I recognize that.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys caught that. I mean, none of your characters who were there live, but the adventure in the village where there was this Kislevite overseer and plague bears in the orchard. There was mention of Siegfriedhof there. The knights that you've met on the road, led by one Sir Dambas, they were traveling with a shipment of grain to Siegfriedhof, and the grain was tainted, as you've later learned, your characters. But it was the old party, with Sally, with Gennaro, Vincent, and Lucas. So I was actually wondering if Vincent would live to this moment. It would be pretty cool. Alas, unfortunately, it didn't happen. But the portent itself. You are in dark chamber. Before you rests a stone sarcophagus, its lid slightly askew, A rat emerges from within, followed by another and another, until the lid is forced aside by a surging torrent of chittering vermin. Rats are everywhere. You awaken just as they overwhelm you. That was the dream that all of you had.
Ugh, rats.
Rats in a sarcophagus.
Sounds
to
to me
the
like
vampires.
we need to find the sarcophagus.
Stone sarcophagus infested with rats. Yeah. And that was the only strange dream that you had. Eventually, you reach Siegfriedhof. On the north shore of Lake Svarsi, the town of Siegfriedhof is built into the face of a rock pinnacle high above the surrounding landscape. When you reach the place, you see that below the new town lie the ruins of, older town. All that remains of it is an overgrown clutter of shattered foundations. And when you approach the place, you are... when you arrive, you are... wait a second. Sorry guys for that, I just need to quickly check one thing. Yeah, you also see the abbey, by the way. It's above the village, of course. It is very impressive. I am going to upload new maps to the main screen. I am going to remove those two, like the ciphers and the signs. They are in handout section, so if you need them, they are there. I'll make sure that they are there. Yes, they are there, so I can remove them. And I'm going to upload, I think, one map only, honestly. And of course, make sure that they're not in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
As you remember the map, one of the maps. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Oh, this is actually quite nice. Oh, it's in French. That's not good. It's not good at all. I don't want French. I want English. Oh, here it is. Okay, uploading the map now.
Okay.
Yeah. Good thing that I bought the extra, like the premium account. I can use all of the. Oh shit! There is a thing that I don't want you to see. Please don't look at the map for a second. I need to do something very quickly. I am actually very interested if this will work.
You should be able to draw a shape over it.
Yeah, the fog of war is called.
You could do that too.
Do you see? What do you see when you look at the map?
Just
now everything is black.
Okay. Don't look at the map right now, please. And shit. Shit. Okay, maybe.
Because I think the easiest way to do it is just to make like a square or a circle or whatever, and fill it with a solid color, and cover it that way.
Okay. Oh, okay. I know what I did. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. This isn't very clear. That's the problem with the Roll20's advanced options, and Okay, getting very good at this, obviously. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Because I've clicked the hide areas and I want to. I want to review all. Like. Man. That's kind of weird. Okay, I know what I'm going to do.
You could take the image, and just go into like Paint or something, and put a box over it, and just save it as a new image.
Yeah, I would like to do that, but for now I've fog of war the entire screen, and I don't know how to reset it.
Oh.
And
yeah, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've done that.
Okay. I've removed the map of Siegfriedhof anyway. Reset map back to completely hidden from. Well, it is hidden from the players. So how exactly?
There it goes. Something just came back, I think.
Yeah, because I'm revealing it right now, but on my end it still looks kind of wonky. I still have this blackish screen. I know that you guys probably can see it, but
yeah, there's like you drew an arrow here or something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what can you see now? Right now.
Right now, I just see the screen. It has kind of a gray color to it, and a kind of a line that almost looks like an S with an arrow pointing on the bottom.
Okay, that's actually interesting. Well, hide areas. Okay.
I see a black square.
Yeah, I just did that.
Okay.
Okay, I will have to do this thing later. For now, I will actually upload the map with just, few pieces removed. So let me quickly do this. Okay. I think I'll just remove this. Okay, nice. Oh, let's see if you'll be able to see that. I'm uploading the map right now. Can you see the map, by the way?
Nope.
It's still the same gray. It looks like it was all black and then it turned all gray.
And now, can you see it?
No, it's still all gray, as if like maybe you tried revealing, but instead of revealing, it just turned gray instead of what it used to be, which was black. I'm kind of just trying to figure out what you're doing. That'd be my guess. Yeah, because something you did made it from black to gray.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I will just have to upload the map. I will do this later, and now I'll upload the map to the handout section. So you'll be able to check it from there. Sorry, guys, for that. I don't know. It's very strange. It's like they are giving you these tools, but I don't have like the reverse button for that.
Yeah.
And I am actually unpleasantly surprised with things like that. So.
Yeah, I wish I could help you. It's been so long ago since I ran a game on this that I don't remember how I did it. But I would do a map and I would black it out, and then I would reveal essentially rectangles of it as the players went through the map. But I don't remember how I did that.
I have never really hosted anything on Roll20, so it's all new to me.
There's a handout called Xathrodox map. You can see it there.
Okay.
Yep, got it.
Yeah. And and that's how it looks. There's even a sign like to Hermsdorf.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you came from.
Okay.
The abbey is also visible. It's to the north of the map. And below the abbey is, of course, the Xathrodox village itself. And there's also the big Lake Svarsi and the Eschenster River, which falls into it. When you arrive, you are approached by a motley patrol of 4 suspicious militiamen. "Welcome, strangers," says one of them. They are all dressed in uniforms, of much lower quality than those issued to the soldiers in Wurtbad, but you see that they are still probably capable men. "Welcome to Xathrodox. What is your purpose and destination?"
We are looking for the Temple of Moor and...
You mean the Abbey of St. Ethelbert?
Yes, that's it.
Of Blessed Ethelbert. It's right there, and he points at the abbey. Well, I suggest that first you visit the Widower's Comfort. It's our inn. Drop your things off there, eat something, drink something, and then make yourselves presentable, and then visit the abbey. If you want an interview, if you want if you want to meet the abbot, the Grand Abbot.
Yes.
Very well.
Thank you.
Let us show you where the Widow's Comfort is, eh?
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Excellent. You see that they are still looking rather suspiciously at you, but they are walking you to, through the streets of Xathrodox. As you can see, the many buildings here. Actually, you've passed, a large cemetery when you've entered the town. There are quite a few buildings here. There's like one main road branching off into 2 smaller ones. One is going down to the ruins, and the other is moving forward to the east, further still. And of course, the third branch, the fourth branch is going like south, and the north branch is going towards the abbey. Eventually, you approach the Widower's Comfort. It is a shallow 3-story structure built into the rock face. "Here's the Widower's Comfort," says one of the watchmen. "Make yourselves at home. Have a nice stay." And with that, they tip their helmets and move away.
I'll give a pence to the guard who led us there.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And he once again tips his helmet to you, and then they just, walk away.
I like these guys better than the pricks that weren't bad.
Yes.
Well, you entered the comfort?
Yes.
All right.
We try to see about stabling Cadvale's horse and all that good stuff.
Yeah. You enter the place. As I mentioned before, it is built into the rock face, so the interior is rocky. It, however, smells really nice. It smells of fruit, of fresh fruit, of good ale, and of decent meals. There are quite a few people here. Some of them are clearly, regulars. The staff is quite numerous and keeps this place clean and serviceable at all times. There's the bartender behind the bar, and he looks he looks like an ex-warrior. Broad-chested, well-muscled. An older man, 40 plus, so older for Old World standards.
Yeah.
Heyo! Welcome to the Widow's Comfort! Or Comfort as we just call it, he says. Come on, man, introduce yourselves. I am Otto, the owner.
Conrad.
And I am Francisco, and I do a deep Italian bow.
Let me just quickly check one thing. And I'm so pissed because of that fog of war. I know it's irrational, but...
they need like they probably have YouTube channel videos of how to mess with all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not very intuitive, it seems.
Anyway, you see that Otto looks suspiciously at your face, Francisco, but doesn't say anything. And I am Cadvale, says Cadvale. Welcome to the Comfort. You want to stay here? We are famous for our fruit nectars. Actually. Maybe you would like a cup, of some raspberry nectar, maybe wild berries. We have those as well. Very good, very good.
Yes, sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, find a seat for yourselves. You see that there are quite a few free seats. I'll bring the nectars to you shortly. You want anything to eat?
I don't know. Are we hungry?
Yeah. It's like middle of the day.
Okay.
So you'd probably.
Yeah. Well, so why don't we try the guy's food and get a room, and then see about going to the Abbey.
Yeah. You are sitting at a table in this strange inn. Cadveo asks, "What do you think about all of this?" I never saw a human settlement like that. Well, maybe in Talaheim.
What, the fact that it's up against a rock face?
Yeah. And there are those ruins down there, near the lake.
Maybe we can ask the innkeeper about the story of the town here and why there's an old village and a new village.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I guess.
Town.
Yeah. Well, I guess it won't hurt to ask him, right? I mean, what can go wrong?
I would be quite curious, as it seems to have a port. You'd think that would have a priority, but maybe it's proximity to the Abbey which brings everybody closer. I don't know what type of strife they've had here recently or in times before, but maybe that brought everything a little closer to the castle. I want to kind of sit so my back is facing most of the other folks, just so I don't draw more attention to my face.
Well, I don't know. What do you think, Conrad?
What do I think about what?
What Francisco said.
About I think I'm confused. We're just going to the Abbey, right?
Well, yeah, from what I understand.
We're gonna
we were just small talking about why there's an old town and a new town.
Oh, I see what you're saying. What you were saying about the
I was saying maybe there was some. Yeah, I was saying maybe there was some kind of conflict which caused everybody to move closer to the fort, which an abbey is, it's a form of a castle, I would imagine.
Right.
But that was just my 2 cents.
I don't know. I think that. How can it be confrontational? Let's just ask the guy. What's the deal with your city here? What happened to the old city? We don't know the folklore.
Are there many other patrons?
Quite a few, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, quite a few. Anyway, Otto returns with a tray filled with high cups filled with nectar, made from delicious forest fruits. There's also freshly baked fish with salt and onions, and a few wheat cakes. He puts it all down. Here you go.
I ask him when he puts it down. Fresh fish. Is
Yes.
this from the piers at Old Siegfried? Or
Yeah.
Siegfriedhof?
Yes, sir. Our fishermen sometimes go there, and well, I mean, some of the people here, let's just say, sometimes go there to catch fish.
We were wondering about that. Is there a reason it's not very occupied?
Oh, it's been destroyed, sir. A long time ago, if that's what you're asking.
I
Yeah,
see.
we don't know a lot about the history of your town here. We're just curious as to why everybody moved up here.
Well, old Siegfriedhof and Castle Siegfried is now nothing more but overgrown rubble. It was the dockyard is the only section of the old town remaining in use, and that's where some of the people from our village go to catch fish. It was destroyed quite a long time ago, you know. And we've rebuilt our town here, closer to the abbey.
Hmm?
It happened half a century ago, sir. It was destroyed by invaders.
Yeah.
I suggest not going down there. There are lots of flooded tunnels and lots of dangerous rubble. You can easily get lost there, or, you know, at the very least, break a leg. No one would want that, right?
No,
Yes.
personally, I've had enough of ruined cities.
We find the comfort of your inn much more welcoming than ruins.
I'm very glad to hear that.
With that, I kind of look at Cadvale, wondering if he'd be interested or if he'd want to, be perched outside of town for the night. But how much would it be for a room with 2 beds, maybe 3?
Room for 2-3 beds. What's the usual price for those?
They usually give us a gold coin if we stay, I think. Let me look that up.
Sorry, I'm in the equipment section right now.
I thought that Francisco would like a room of his own, so he can,
Gotta strengthen that hand.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Transportation.
Choke the purple snake.
Yes.
Lodging. Okay, here we go. Why is it travel service? Oh, lodging. There we go. A common room is 5 pennies. A private room is 10 shillings. Stabling horse per night, 10 pennies. A bath is.
He'll rent you a room for 3 of you for 2 shillings per night.
Okay.
Yeah,
And additional 8 pennies for your horse, for Cadvale's horse per night.
I asked Cadvale if he'd be interested in staying in town or if he'd prefer outside of town.
He tells you that he would prefer to spend a few nights in a normal bed.
Okay.
But why are you, fine gentlemen, visiting our fine village? I mean, I am glad that you're staying at my place, but you don't look like someone who visits Siegfriedhof just for the nectars.
We're here to pay a visit to the Abbey of Saint Ethelbert.
That's actually I thought so. Very well, very well. Abbey of Blessed Ethelbert the Vigilant, you mean? Yes, it is. Oh, it's not far from here. You can't really miss it. If you wish to gain an audience with the abbot, I think you might still achieve this task today. After, of course, you eat this fine meal and drink my fine drinks.
Sounds great. We will do that. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah. You can leave your things here. They'll be safe. Don't worry.
Okay.
With that,
Is that just because you can't have, I guess, weapons?
No.
The Abbey, or
I mean, you could go there with all your gear. I don't know if they would let you in with, so heavily armed, but you might try.
I imagine, yeah. I imagine, if we had to give turn things in, that we can turn it in at the Abbey. We don't have much. We're traveling quite light.
Very well.
Except for a horse.
Yeah. Very well. So in that case, he just nods, leaves you at your table, and then returns behind the bar. Yeah.
So do we want to go today, or get a full night's rest before we go in the morning?
Well, I think it might be useful to go today. Speaking of which, I do have to wrap it up fairly soon here.
Yeah, we are finishing, I think, right now.
Okay. Sounds good.
That would be.
Well,
I think that would be for the best.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we've did quite a lot, and next time Bran will be here. So when you visit the Abbey, he'll join you. So I think that's also a better idea.
And I haven't taken the 2 shillings off just because I don't know if we're staying the night yet.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Sounds like we're gonna go see the Abbey first and see what happens.
So just remove money for the food.
Yep.
Which is total of 1.5 shillings.
Okay, I don't think I did that yet. So 1 shilling and 6 pence.
Very well.
Right.
So, for today's game, 65 points for everyone. For your characters, 10 points. Places of birth, Jason, Estalia.
Well, I made the comment about, I'm just trying to think. I felt like I was in character. I'm just trying to think of particular points. Crossing over the river, I said a little prayer, knowing that
that's more religion.
Leads back to Estalia.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you did.
You mentioned something.
Yeah, talking with the priest. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of particular points which I did that were more notable.
Yeah, I thought I saw this today. I can give you 5 points for that.
Okay.
Because I recall that you did said something about this.
Yeah, it was either telling stories or telling my story, or the just it's more religion, but just yeah.
Okay. So anyway, Sean, what about you?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I wasn't particularly Ostlandy today. I think I was trying to keep my my insults in check because just talking apparently was offensive to people today.
Yeah, that's Okay. I am trying to think if I could give you anything. Maybe 5 points. I mean, you were stubborn.
Yeah.
And that was good. And Aslandis are stubborn. Their symbol is the bull after all.
Yeah.
So you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that. Religion. 10 points for you, Jason. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I think I mentioned Sigmar once, but I don't really feel like I was super religious stuff. I was trying not to be offensive to the guy who was giving us all of the information we needed to move forward.
Yeah.
So, I mean, religion in that way. I was trying to be religiously sensitive and like asking Francisco, like, is there something I
remember that was nice. Yeah, when you've asked him, about how you should behave yourself in the temple. That was actually very 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 nice. So I'll give you 5 points for that.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Now star signs, Jason.
Mine is the broken cart, pride, arrogant, prideful. I made the comment after the Pistoliers left that how arrogant and they were.
Nice. That was nice, and that you showed them a lesson.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's any other point. That's probably about it. Like the whole dagger thing didn't go well.
But you tried. you tried.
Oh yeah, that's where I pulled the Estalion thing. Was when I was trying to use the angle that I'm an Estalion, and fanciful things come from foreign places, and it didn't work very well. But
yeah, that's why I'll give you 5 points for that, and I will give you 5 points for your star sign.
Okay.
Now, Sean, what about you?
The two bullocks, fertile and skilled. I don't think I was really either.
No,
my intimidation. I was skilled at intimidating people.
No, I will give you 5 points for the repairs.
Oh, okay.
You were skilled in that way. You've used your skills to fix the temple. That was very nice. Doom, Jason.
I don't have anything for Doom. It's the twin tail comet shall.
Soar as you,
shall. Yeah. Soar as you fall. Yeah.
What about you, Sean?
The flashing blade shall carve the end. Actually, man, I missed it.
Or I kind of have a counter that
Well,
like
I didn't kill anybody with my sword.
Well, true, but for Francisco, he kind of put Sigmar aside and focused entirely on his native religions, and he actually didn't fall; he rose, having been healed and everything.
Nice. I can give you 5 points for that. Very nice. That's a good interpretation. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no worries.
That would be the only thing is that the flashing blade shall carve thy hand, which I guess if I had thought about it, I could have turned that into why I wasn't chopping all of these jerkwads down, but I didn't do that. So
okay, yeah.
So your tongue was the blade today.
Yes. Conrad fights with his tongue.
No.
Gross.
Yeah. So that's that. Racial stuff is only for Brian, and he wasn't here today. Yeah. So now, any ideas which push the scenario forward?
I mean, I don't personally feel like I had any earth-shattering ideas. It was just like, we need to go here, and we probably need to go there, and that's just where the clues are leading us. So I don't know if that's really
I also don't think that anything today was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn. I was just going to say we're almost in some serious trouble if it wasn't for Conrad's intimidation.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's just good use of skill, but it didn't really push anything forward. Okay, and according to our rules, Bran gets the points only for the game, even though he's not here. Okay. So someone note that, please. The rest of you guys, that's it. That's for the points.
Okay, so Brian got
65.
Just 65. And what did you get, Sean?
It looks like I got 90 total because I got 75. Yeah, 90.
Okay, and then I got 100.
Like you got 100. Yeah.
The travel to Xathrodox took you 8 days, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 8 days.
We used all. Okay, yeah.
Okay, just had to.
So we no longer have rations.
Yeah, you finished the rations, and the horse no longer has his fodder. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So that's it for this day. Let me quickly check. 11th of what's the word? October.
Right at the moment that should work.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Okay. There's a chance that it won't, Jason?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
If anything comes up, I'll let you know.
Okay. So, I will, of course, post it on our group. 11th so far, standard time. I will try and do something with this goddamn God of War, Fog of War. Sorry, not God of War. Yeah, but that's it. That was a cool game, and you've opened the box. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Did it. I chickened out. I was like I rolled a 14. I'm probably not going to get any closer to doing that.
Yeah, like my intelligence is so low that at a minus 30, I'd be botching more than anything, and I just don't have any luck. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've rolled 177 today. So.
Yeah, I was just like,
Okay, guys, that was a good game. Thank you very much. I'll see you on 11th, and I will also ask Brian to upload the notes.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I liked the game. That was a fun session.
It was.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's and you're now on the near the border with Slovenia, so that's always nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See you later. See you on 11th. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
All right. See you.
Take it easy.